Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560, toll free for David Brown, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group.
No.
Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The Marlins win. Marlins win. Marlins. Oh, give me another beer.
Oh! I'm in Toledo Citgo, bratwurst and sauerkraut. I love a Polish pickle. I'll roll the barrel out. I put on lederhosen as I wear a funny hat. The sound of a brass tuba and then out the clarinet. It's a sound you won't forget. It's my favorite dance. I'm singing a lively polka. Fill your beer side up, singing a lively polka. The cabbage rolls are good with sausage from a smoker. Stick your beer gun out, singing a lively polka. Singing a lively polka. I'm singing a funky polka. The band goes on, pop, pop. We're singing a lovely polka. Dance with your grandma during a lovely polka. In heaven there's no fear, so drink some of my new polka. Eat some kielbasa, listening to a polka. Listening to a polka. Come on! Everyone loves a polka. 2, 3, 4. That's so very nice.
Oh, please, anything but him. You know something? I'd rather watch. Give me somebody that I can't stand. Somebody makes me nauseous. I'd rather have dinner with Todd Dreck than ever see Ricky Martin again. How do you like that? Huh? Of course, Ricky, we understand, was up in Toronto this weekend with 1 million queens. It was Gay Day up there, the biggest parade in North America. They had 1 million queens up there just by coincidence.
No.
Ricky happened to be there this weekend.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Wrecked him.
Killed him. So anyway, here's a real interesting thing that just kind of like popped up in the fax machine this morning. This has nothing to do with anything, but it just happened to come to us. Every now and then we get a fax that winds its way into this room that doesn't really belong here, and we will pass this along to poor Miriam so she can make up a story for this guy. What is it? It's an invoice. It's addressed to accounts payable, WQAM, Miami, et cetera, and so on. And I looked at this, and I thought, what is this? What? And it took me, about 14 seconds to figure it out? It says, Dear Sir or Madam, and you can just see the angry tone. You can see the blood on these pages, even though it's like just white paper. Dear Sir or Madam, the attached invoice is seriously past due. Please remit, in capital letters, exclamation freaking point. Thank you, exclamation point, Henry M. Clay. Now, who is Henry Clay? No, not that Henry Clay. This is a guy who obviously is an engineer up in Philadelphia. How do I know that? Because it's got the address in Belmore, New Jersey, which is like suburban Philadelphia. And the invoice is for 3 games, Florida Marlins at Philadelphia Phillies, $25 a game, $75. So obviously this is one of the guys who engineered 3 Marlin games up there when they played in Philadelphia. What are the dates on this invoice, you might ask? 4/16 to 4/18. Well, it's only July, for crying out loud, in a couple of days. This is only the middle of April he's talking about. Seriously, past due. Give me the goddamn money now. Come on.
No.
We won't do it. How do you like that? So if anybody out there thinks that this is just the show material, that I make this stuff up, believe me, these people are either one of 2 categories, slow pay or no pay. All depending on how much you bitch and scream and yell, because they would prefer no pay at all. But if you send about 20 or 30 letters like this, eventually they will have to pay, especially when your lawyer calls and threatens a lawsuit. Then they'll say, okay, goddammit, here's your freaking money, you asshole. What are you bothering us for? Nice going, Henry Clay in Philadelphia and Belmore, New Jersey, wherever the hell that is. By the way, Tom Green for president. Oh! No, seriously, I think, what's his name? Jesse the Body for president, Tom Green for vice president. And Austin Powers for Secretary of State. If we could ever fix up those damn British teeth, which they're phony and he's really Canadian. There you go. What more could you want? So yesterday, for the first time in my life, now life is almost worth living, that I've seen the Tom Green show on MTV. Never saw it before. Never heard it. How come we never got any calls about that show?
I did.
You did what?
When I talked about it.
No, but I'm talking about because you had seen it. But I'm just saying, how come nobody ever called and said you got to watch that show? That's the greatest show in the history of television. Now, yesterday they had the one segment where he put the dog poop on top of a microphone and went out and interviewed a bunch of people and stuck it in their nose, and it was a lovely thing. And then they replayed, I guess it was an old show, which I had no way of knowing because I never saw it before. They replayed the show where he was, it said, show us your teats. And they came back with a cow, and he took the cow through the supermarket. And then to get really fresh milk, he was like actually sucking the cow. Can I say this on the air? Cow's teats? Can I say that? I just did. And then he had some guy in the store who looked like he had a lot of experience, by the way. I mean, doing the same thing. I mean, seriously, is there any, oh, God. No, I'm thinking to myself, is there any person that you know can imagine that would do such a thing?
No.
No. Maybe for a lot of money. For a lot of money. But I just can't believe we haven't had tons of calls about the Tom Green show. There you go. Best show on television by far. Oh! It's number one, baby, on my hit parade. And I'm sure it won't be long before some assholes will come, oh, gee, that's a disgusting thing that our kids are watching it. Yeah, good. Maybe your kids will develop a good, healthy sense of humor, okay, and realize that life is a bunch of bullcrap. Nice going there, Tom Green. And I think, because at the end of the show it said Rogers Communications, which is a Canadian cable outfit, even though that show is done in New York, I think those three guys, Tom and his two boyfriends there, I think they're Canadian, eh? Are they Canadian? We'll find out. We'll find out all you ever wanted to know about Tom Green and then some here today. Got the story about the Vatican tell-all book is a hot seller. They're doing it over there.
Father O'Toole. God.
Get into that. And that, of course, is the newspapers continue really uncovering the dirt and the crap in this town. This is amazing to me. And especially the fact that nobody out there cares about it. I guess that's why they can get away with this. Cop charged in pimpering a nice guy. Oh! All right. Let's hear it for Greg Priest. He never stole a freight train. He's a damn nice guy. I mean, here you've got a story, and of course you know that these people know the names of all these other cops because the bimbos certainly had to they all do it, you know, keep a diary and a record. They knew who all the different cops there, coming from all the different police departments all over Dade County. But for some strange reason, we haven't heard, all we got is the tip of the iceberg, and that's it. And then we find out this guy kept his nose clean. Well, maybe he didn't stick his nose in there, you know. Maybe he stuck his instead, you know, instead of his nose. Although a lot of guys probably did stick their nose in there. But nevertheless, yeah, we got a horror ring here with 16-year-old prostitutes and the newspaper. Which paper? Oh, this is in the Herald, of course. There you go. The same Herald that's worried about the evils of casino gambling. They like cops who are doing 16-year-old hookers. They like that, evidently. He was a nice guy, never stole a freight train. This is one of the worst stories. I've been here 23 years. This is one of the most embarrassing, one of the most grotesque stories you could think of. Not only are they another one of these don't do as I do, do as I say stories, where every day they're out there picking up hookers and johns and the same old tired crap on a boulevard and Federal Highway. But it's a minor. With large breasts, of course, which everybody's saying, oh! All right. Yeah, I told you that Friday. That's why everybody likes this story. Well, the only reason they're pissed off about this story is they don't have the address and the phone number. No, seriously. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, Britney Spears allegedly, according to MTV yesterday, is going to be in the Pompano Amphitheater, which I didn't even know there was a Pompano Beach Amphitheater. Maybe we'll find out about that today. Tonight, she's going to be there. Anybody want to go spear Britney?
Uh-huh.
I'll bet you do. Maybe you can help her friends get their shorts out of their crotch, too, while you're at it. So before they make the next video, we don't have to see that disgusting display of crotch picking. You know, it's one thing to be a nose picker, but a crotch picker? Jesus Christ. In fact, that would be, I can just imagine some things on the Tom Green show that we'll probably see next Sunday. Is that on only on Sunday, by the way?
They move it around a lot. I'm sure it has a regular time.
Yeah, that's the thing about MTV. Of course, they never show any videos. You know, if you want to see videos, turn on Much Music. But, I mean, MTV, they got all these weird, and they're on like all over the place. Road Rules, Road Rage, all this stuff. All of these things. And Celebrity Deathmatch, which, by the way, I take back what I said before. I didn't like it in the beginning because it was old and ponderous with the Pat Sajak and, what's his name from Jeopardy? Alex Trebek. Well, he's Canadian, you know. But now they got the new one where they had. Did you see the one where George Washington is in the ring with Abe Lincoln? Oh yeah, and he's got a hatchet. I'm gonna knock your ass. It's great. It's beautiful. See, you
they're
gotta
on back
watch.
to back usually.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Celebrity Deathmatch. In fact, I think, how about Todd Greck would be good, huh? Todd Greck, and who could we stick in there with him? I know, I got an idea. Oh, that would be great. 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, we could put Chris, what's his name in there too, your buddy, your close best personal friend that you hate like poison.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
It's a special day here at Disney World when the screening gays meet the rest of the girls in the closet no more. That's what gay day is for. It's a gay day after all. It's a day of fun when we wear red shirts and when we all come, you can hear the squirts. We can tickle and tease with our manicured goatees. It's a gay day after all.
All right.
We'll be holding hands in Adventureland and watch the Liza Minnelli marching band. We'll make tourist street with a kiss on the cheek. It's a gay day after all. We can wear tight shorts made of gold lame and wear mascara like Billy Zane. We can mince away as we prance and sashay. It's a gay day after all. MGM will have a celebrity ball hosted by Rip Taylor and RuPaul. There'll be Mervyn Monkey Rock, not to mention Pete Like Hawk. It's a gay day after all. 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 It's a gay day after all.
What's that you got hanging out of your shorts?
10:16 at 560 WQAM. Here's a mobile in Sunrise. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes of that Tom Green show. It's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
Greatest show in the history of television.
Oh, he likes using farm animals a lot. There was this one episode where he covered his parents' house in plastic and brought in a bunch of chickens and goats and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see, was the one last night where he went in with the food store with the cow?
Yeah.
And they were sucking on the
Sucking
cow.
the teats, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And notice the one guy in the store, like I said, looked like he had a lot of practice.
There was this one episode where he bought a bunch of vibrators.
Yeah. Oh, and this guy, your phone's crapping out. I think the FCC is cutting in. Okay, that's that's the end of him. How do you like that? He mentioned vibrator, and as soon as he said that was it. Wow. Maybe it's our good censorship police over there. Speaking of the police, well, we'll get back to that story in a minute. Here's a lady mobile in Miami. Hello.
Would that be me?
That would be you.
Oh, okay. I hope my phone doesn't crap out. I'm a Tom Green fan, too. I think he only made like 6 episodes total. I think I've seen them all.
That was it?
That was it. That's it. There's like 6 episodes. Because every time it's on, my husband and I are like, oh, my God, stop everything. Don't feed the children. Watch Tom Green.
You mean to say that I'm like coming along on the ass end of something great? It was just they did a few episodes and that was it?
Yeah, it's been on since like December, I think.
Yeah.
And there's only, I mean, I've seen the same 6 episodes over and over and over again. And it's on like Thursday night, Sunday night. They have it all over the place.
Now, do you know anything about him?
He's from Canada.
They are Canadian. I knew that.
Yeah.
You could tell right off the bat, eh?
Yeah, and he is so funny. What he does to his parents is a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. There's a couple episodes where he just totally humiliates them.
I'm going to have to look in the TV guide and see when he's around. I can't afford to miss the Tom Green show. What is it? You can't hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
He totally humiliates his parents. He's got they drive like a Ford Escort or something.
Yeah. And
he does this thing where he says, I understand that my parents really like lesbians. So he gets some artist to spray paint 2 women, as cunning linguists on his car.
Right.
And he parks it in front of their house. He does it like overnight and parks it in front of his house and hides in the garage. So when his father comes out to get the car in the morning, he sees this painted on the car. And it's just hysterical. I'm not doing it justice. You have to see it. It is so funny.
Slutmobile.
But why were there only 6 episodes? I don't understand.
I don't know. But he's already sold out because he's doing commercials for Pepsi.
Maybe they ran out of dog poop or something. I don't know. I mean, I got plenty in my backyard if they need more.
Wasn't that funny?
That was the best.
Oh, my God.
Did you notice, if you watch closely, he kept sticking the mic a little further and further into the nose of each guy that he was interviewing?
Yeah, right into everyone's face. I was laughing so hard.
Huh. And then there was the old drifter that he had out there that he was hugging.
Yeah.
Remember that guy said, do I look good to you? Am I sexual? Am I turning you on? And the guy looked back, he said, yeah, you're not bad.
He's like totally irreverent. He has no respect for anybody or anything, and he's so funny.
I say Tom Green for president. Let's get him an American citizenship.
Yeah, but he's Canadian.
Well, that's okay. We'll make an exception. Have a great day.
You too, bye.
And Mike Myers, too, that Austin Powers, he's Canadian. And the amazing part of all of this is that the Canadian humor is non-existent. It's like an oxymoron. Any of the shows like on the CBC or any of the Canadian networks, they're attempts at humor. If anybody saw the awards show last Thursday night, the NHL awards, and that bitch they had on there, that's typical Canadian humor, about as funny as in your pants, you know. Tragic.
TV was funny in its time.
That was Canadian?
Yeah, all of them.
It was?
Every person on there was Canadian. That was a Canadian show.
The one where they had Perry Como in the oxygen tank?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that was it. I haven't seen anything funny since then.
Well, I don't understand. How come the good stuff, it's on for like 5 minutes, and the garbage like Jay Leno, that's on there forever? I don't understand. What's that all about? The crap shows, they never go away. But something funny comes along, and, well, maybe it was a little bit too good for television. That might have been the problem. I mean, like the Ron Popeil infomercials, they never go away. They're every goddamn week. He's there. He's roasted so many. Oh, and then the thing with the turkey, or with the, it was a duck, with the roasted duck. At the end of the show, he had this, she wasn't a veterinarian. She was like she teaches CPR. And she had like a bunch of dummies on there, and she had a dummy of a baby, and she's like showing him how you do CPR. So he reaches in, he said, I brought my pet. And can you show me how you do it on your pet? And it was like a cooked duck, a roasted duck. And he picked it up, and she starts laughing, and he takes the thing, and the head separates from the rest of the body. And he starts trying to do mouth to mouth to the body and he starts humping the duck. In fact, what was the other thing where he was humping at the side of the road? They found a dead moose on the side of the road, and he was trying to bring it back to life, and he's humping the moose, and he's stopping people that are driving by and saying, please, can you help me hump this moose and bring it back to life? And they're looking at him and running like for their lives. It was great. Nice going, Tom Green. Oh! Jesus, it's about time I found something good on TV after all these years. Goes to show you, if you surf enough, thank God for those remotes, baby. Without remotes, TV'd be out of business. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hey, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yes, he was on Oprah about. He was on Oprah about 4. Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Oprah about 5 weeks ago.
He was on Oprah.
He was on Oprah with his mother and father too.
Why would she put him on? Why would a bitch
I have
like?
no idea. No, they were doing that whole shtick with that whole thing, like the lady said. That whole thing, what he's doing, and he's got his own show supposedly being produced. They're getting ready to broadcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the next, it was supposed to be on already, I believe.
Okay, thanks for the good news. What have we said? Are we having a phone problem today of some kind? Yeah. A little bit of a phone problem. They're like coming and going, and the levels are all over, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. I'm in such a good mood after seeing the Tom Green show. What do I care? Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the funniest show ever since SCTV, which is The Kids in the Hall. You know, that's one of the funniest Canadian shows I've ever seen.
Kids in the Hall was funny?
Yeah. A lot of the younger crowd really dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Weak, yeah. Okay, see you around, eh? No. Was that funny?
No.
No. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Here's a mobile in Lake Worth. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Hey, just want to let you know on that Oprah thing, he was on there. Oprah was having a special on, it was a day of torturous things kids do to their parents, so that's why she had him on.
Yeah. I somehow, I just can't see a goody two-shoes, phony baloney like Oprah putting on a guy like him.
Yeah, well, they had the torturing parents, but as far as the series coming back, once you see the first episode that aired,
yeah,
he explains that they were on Canadian public access. And MTV picked them up for 6 episodes to see if it would fly before they got on a regular show.
Right.
So
well, it must be flying because they keep showing it over and over again.
Yeah, based on the popularity, I'm sure it'll be back. But yeah, he used to be public access in Canada.
In Canada. See, how did I know that? I just sat there watching that thing, and I said, these guys are Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
You just knew it.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks for the good news. So that means that there's hope for the future. All right, let's hear it.
Oh!
In fact, if we get some people out there with their TV, oh, look at this, I got my TV book. I brought it in to read Tom Jicka, this stupid letter that somebody wrote. Question, I'm wondering if Rush Limbaugh, Laura Schlesinger, and Rick and Putz know about the filth some guy named Tom Likas from California and a woman named Brooke Daniels are dishing out. How do you like that? She's dishing it out. Tom Don't Like Us, he's dishing it out. This is, every time I think I've read the dumbest letter that Tom ever got, he comes up with another good one. You gotta be making it up, Tom. Come on.
No.
It says, I'm usually tuned to WINZ because of Rush, Laura, and Rick and Suds, and sometimes get caught unaware when I start the car and hear what I heard recently. Some jerks and perverts discussing kinky sex. Absolute filth. Why do we have to put up with this? Signed A via email. Why do we have to put up with this, God?
Damn it.
Yeah. Tom answers, did you alert the police? I'm not a lawyer or a cop, but I'm pretty sure if somebody jumps in your car, puts a gun to your head, and keeps you from hitting the button to any of the other 80 channels to get rid of something you find offensive, they're probably breaking the law. In other words, get a life, asshole. Maybe that's what the A stands for, asshole. Jesus, God almighty. But at least there's somebody. That's good. Nice going there, Rick. Somebody listens to INZ. There's one. Oh! That's a good start. Somebody listens to that Tom Don't Like Us, and somebody even listened to the Babbling Brook in the afternoon, which is a fate worse than death. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, about the Tom show, Tom Green thing.
Yes.
Did they talk about the one with his parents with the paper mache statues?
No.
It was the best. First he wakes him up. He just goes in with a camera crew, wakes him up. They're in the bed. Tom, get out of here, type of thing. So drags him out on the front lawn, and they've got this paper mache statue of his dad, like his hand raised, about to hit his mom. I think it was like on Thanksgiving or something.
All right.
So it's just like the theme was, where's my dinner, bitch? So his dad's getting all mad and stuff and kicks over, and so they go back to bed. So he drags the film crew back in again, and says, no, I'm sorry, I misunderstood the meaning of Thanksgiving. It's all about love. So he drags him back on the lawn again, and here's a paper mache statue of him like doing his mom from behind. She's been over in front of him.
Rectum.
Yeah.
And so the dad gets mad again and kicks it all over.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Doogie Howser one time. They were doing a Doogie style. Okay, thanks for the good news, sir. Have a great day. Tom Green, we're going to make him into a superstar. Oh, somebody beat us to it? Oh! Hey, listen, better, while you're still breathing if you discover the good stuff. That's what I always said, and then they run like hell.
Neil, God. How I love to lick a clit, and that is why I become a singing lesbian nun.
All right.
Sister Mary Catherine was so impressed with what I'd done, she gave me action with her tongue.
Yeah.
You can see precisely that this song went to #1 because I was a nun. Found a way to make some cash and hope the royalties will last because retired nuns don't get none.
Yeah.
I never made it that big because I didn't look that great, so I got me a new habit, doing drugs and getting laid. Had my one and only hit, and then the Vatican got pissed. The Pope said, there's my big. Now that I'm dead, I can reveal how much I wanted Sally Field to go whistling in my wheat field.
Speaking of that, by the way, Vatican tell-all book a hot seller.
Oh!
Sell them like hotcakes. Move to ban it ignites interest. Rome, eager for juicy stories. The public has done what a court order from the Holy See failed to do. Clear store bookshelves of a gossipy insider look at cardinals and other top Vatican officials. A decree issued by a Holy See tribunal orders one of the alleged authors, an Italian Monsignor who retired 2 years ago after 45 years at the Vatican, to ensure that Gone with the Wind in the Vatican is taken off store shelves. Gone with the Wind. I bet you there was a lot of blowing going on in there.
Uh-huh.
The book appeared a few months ago with little fanfare, but after the retired cleric, Monsignor Luigi Marinelli, said over the weekend he'd been told to appear with a lawyer at a Vatican court hearing July 16, the book rushed off store shelves. The 288-page volume paints some prelates as greedy for power and lacking in virtue, with vignettes ranging from a prelate being stopped at the border with Switzerland carrying a suitcase stuffed with cash to a bishop denounced in court by a youth for alleged sexual abuse. Oh, we can't believe that.
Oh, my God.
No. The identities are disguised, more or less, it says. At Feltrinelli, a large chain bookstore, customers were told that, I know exactly where that is, by the way. Customers were told that the book had sold out in all 3 Central Rome stores. We're calling the publisher today to find out if they have more copies, said employee Luigi D'Amico. The daily, largely secret workings of the world behind the Vatican's fortified walls were intriguing even Milan, where stylists and financiers, not clergy and bureaucrats, usually make news. At Feltrinelli's branch on Milan Central Via Manzoni, clerk Giovanni Mazza said 30 customers had requested the book Sunday morning, and all had left the store empty-handed. The Monsignor claimed that the work was a collaboration of many people interested in reforming the Roman Curia, the Vatican's bureaucratic machine. We don't even know each other, Marinelli said, adding, I'm just a spokesman. Marinelli used a pseudonym which scrambled the letters of his last name. He noted that the pseudonym, E. Millenari, means the millenarians. Each millennium you expect to reform, he said. Of the one of the judges who signed the order, Monsignor Maurice Monnier, declined to talk about the report. A new manual, which was approved by Pope John Paul II this spring, warns Vatican employees that disclosing pontifical secrets is punishable by firing. Martinelli, 72, worked for many years at the Vatican's Congregation for Eastern Churches.
Oi!
How do you like that? Boy, when are we going to get a hold of a copy of that? Huh? Soon, I hope, like by the end of the day. 5670560, pound 560. If we had any calls about Britney Spears and the Pompano Beach Amphitheater, which I never heard of such a place. I don't think there is such a place, but they said so on MTV where they had listed all the concerts. They said she was going to be spearing tonight in Pompano Beach. And it would be a shame if it turned out, because we know she's here. Remember last week she was bitching about it rains every day. She was in West Palm or somewhere. Oh, gee, it rains every afternoon. I'm so bummed out. Well, stay inside and just keep doing what you're doing, okay, sweetheart? Doing who you're doing. Here's a lady mobile in West Palm. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's a boy.
Yes, sir.
About the Tom Green show, your episode you're talking about is going with the dog food, right?
What is it? I can barely hear you.
What?
I said I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry, I'm in a car.
Okay.
The episode you're talking about is about the dog food, right?
Right.
Yeah,
The dog poop, yeah.
Yeah, what's his partner's name, the one who sits next to him?
I have no idea.
Well, there's
He's got two partners. He's got the one who sits next to him and the one who sits pretending to drink coffee behind the
yeah, and laughs all the time.
Right.
Yeah, there's this, the friend of his, he humiliated him so bad one day, he gave out his email address.
Oh, that was on yesterday's show.
Yeah, and...
Right, and that was also the one where the guy was trying to take a leak and they kept following him around?
Yeah, that was it.
Right.
And, this other thing he did to him to humiliate him was, he picked him up from the, airport, and they were going to put him up in this really ritzy hotel, and it was really this shack place, like in the middle of Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
And they just made him walk all the way from Manhattan all the way to the studios, and it took him like a couple hours to do this.
Great. Okay, Tom Green for president, sir. Have a great day. Oh, got to get that sound of that car out of my... good call, but... yeah, they had the thing yesterday where his friend there, the one with the glasses that works for the phone company, alleged or whatever, had to take a leak. And first he was going to take a leak outside, and he can't. The guy has a phobia. He can't pee when there's other people around. And Tom and the cameraman kept following him, and then he went into a convenience store and he tried to get in the restroom, and they kept forcing the door open. It was a beautiful thing. You had to be there. Here's Davey. Hello, Davey.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got some info on Tom Green.
All right.
He was in a rap group in Canada.
Yeah.
He and two of his buddies, and they did it for a joke when they were like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And some record exec picked them up, and they were nominated or they won the equivalent to a Grammy.
Yeah.
In Canada. And then him and his buddies got into doing the show. But there's one episode that you would really love. He did a thing where he brought a dead cow's head into his parents' home with the Godfather music playing in the background. And he brought a real live dead cow's head into his parents' room at 3:30 in the morning while they were sleeping. Woke his parents up, the dog's licking the blood off of the dead cow's head, and his parents just flipped out. It was a great episode.
Gotta love it.
One of the best.
Tom Green for dictator. Oh, speaking of Godfather, by the way, there's a revolution going on. Public is pissed off, baby. Thanks to whoever faxed me this. Where the hell is this from? From USA Today. That's a little bit too colorful for us here. Oh, before I get into this thing about the Godfather, Part 4, I was just thinking if we want to spice up those boring interviews they do, because I know Mandis is always screaming about how boring those interviews are, how about a little dog crap on the microphones in there in the sports studio, huh? Yeah, there you go. I think that might spice up some of these terminal interviews with these dumb jocks. Like when they had Zoe in there the other morning. Can't you imagine, like, about a quarter pound of dog crap right on the microphone? You think you know the difference?
No.
So anyway, speaking of the Godfather, it says Ben Affleck is the overwhelming choice. I don't know about you, but he just it doesn't do anything for me. He's like vanilla pudding, like vanilla ice cream. Just boring. But anyway, he's the overwhelming choice to play young Sonny Corleone in the fourth installment of The Godfather. If that's an offer Leonardo DiCaprio refuses, according to USA Today. You know something? I think I speak for America when we say we'd rather have dead people playing the young Sonny Corleone than Leo. Am I right about that? Anybody would rather. I mean, this is so ludicrous. Of 443 email votes, Affleck nabbed more than 100 votes. He was followed by Matt Damon with 50 and Freddie Prinze Jr. with 25. How about Freddie Prinze Sr.? Other multiple choices included Sean Penn, Brad Pitt. He looks like a real mafia tough guy, don't he? Edward Norton. How about Norton from the Jackie Gleason show? How about Ralph Cramden? What was his name?
Art Carney.
Art Carney, like I said. But he's still alive. Boy, he don't look a day over 98 to me. Vince Vaughn and Nicolas Cage also got a couple of votes. Isn't he a little bit too old to be playing like the young, Nicolas Cage?
How young is the young Vito supposed to be in the movie?
No, the young Sonny Corleone.
Oh, I'm sorry, like I said.
Well, younger than James Caan, who wasn't that old when he got hit on the causeway. Yeah, you think we fall for that comedy? That was kind of like the Joe Rose thing. By the way, you notice Joe Rose wasn't here today and they kept saying he was on vacation. I don't want to start any rumors about him being back over there talking to the people at Athens 1700, but that's what I hear. That's what I hear. I wouldn't be the least bit. I don't want our sports nerds to start getting real panicky about the little dog, but I'm hearing lots of very nasty rumors about him and that incestuous relationship with the people at Waffen. You heard about that when you were off last week, by the way?
Joe Castello called me, who called me every day.
And if you could have seen, by the way, the hysteria. I don't want to say that Greg Reed was in here 4,000 times that one day. Oh, I'm going to sue the Herald for alienation of affections, and it's on the front page. Yeah. Maniac.
Maybe he could sell off some of those contracts.
He was wiping his rectum with that paper that day. Yeah, maybe. And in fact, I said, well, why don't you wipe your rectum with the Marlins contract? That would be a big improvement. Oh, by the way, Marlins tonight. Any interest?
No.
7:05 pregame. Marlins in a match right here in town. You going to be listening?
No.
And I feel almost bad about that because I was in the car over the weekend and a moment of weakness. I had this station on and the Marlin game was on. And do you know that they're running IDs in there where the players promoting like this show? Like, hi, this is Mark Kotze, and you're listening to the Home of the Neil Rogers Show, 560. Are you aware of that? And for like a quarter of a second, I thought, gee, I feel so bad, because these guys, maybe some of them even listen to this show, and I'm ripping the hell out of the Marlins. Am I going to stop doing that?
No.
No, they suck. They won 2 in a row, though. Oh! They still suck. 20 before 11 at 560 WQAM.
Gordon gives South Florida a major blowjob.
Yes. First, Marlon Brando was the Godfather. Then Al Pacino was Godfather 2 and 3. Now, get ready for the ultimate Godfather. Godfather 4.
Godfather, you must help me. These are goons that are coming in and burning my house down, and they're hurting my family. Maybe you could order a hit or something.
Talk about hit? I'll tell you about hit. Coffee super bad. Make you feel good. You get up like a stretch machine. Tell them gotta give it up. Turn it loose. Get on the good foot. Make them bring out a cold sweat. Have them saying, please, please, please. Ow!
Godfather, pardon me, but you just don't look like any of the other Corleones.
Corleone, ravioli, macaroni. Ain't gonna be none of that. Gonna have some soul food. Some like chitlins, greens. Gotta make it break out the cold sweat. Good Lord. Wow!
The Godfather 4, starring James Brown, the Godfather of Soul. He'll make you an offer you can't understand.
10:46 at 560 WQAM. How about James Brown? Will we prefer him over Leo? Or the young Sonny Corleone? Yes. Before we get back to that, here's a Joe Rose spy report. Joe has made the big time. He flipped a coin at the Florida Bobcats versus Tampa Storm Arena game Friday night. I had free tickets, and the highlight was a large rat that ran out of the field, and the crowd of 2,000 booing these two fat broads that do a Sunday night sports show on Super Talk. I will never go again.
Oh!
There you go. Good choice. Bad choice taking a free ticket and going the first time. Excellent choice. Don't make the same mistake twice. So getting back to Godfather 4, which we need like we need bleeding hemorrhoids. Oh, and by the way, while you were gone, I bet you didn't hear about this. About our big black instrument over here. Remember somebody last year was complaining about oozing bloody stools and blamed it on poor Dr. Atkins? Well, come to find out that somebody came in here for another free cigar, which evidently he seems to feel that these cigars are his whenever he wants them, because he was a big jock.
Roy!
I don't want to mention his name on here.
Roy!
But anyway, so was it Joe that made the comment to him? Who was it? Made some kind of a comment about this gigantic black dildo and so on? And he said, I was doing with it what you do with that. And Joe, or whoever it was, I forget exactly, said, you mean to somebody else? He said, no, maybe they were sticking it in me, was his exact quote. that I get like fourth or fifth hand, but nevertheless said that. And to think that we've actually been holding this thing and, this is worse than Tom Green putting dog poop on the end of the microphones. The fact that this could have been in Roy's anus. Do you know what I'm saying? So speaking of bloody oozing, So anyway, getting back to Godfather 4, it says many respondents weren't enamored of DiCaprio, said to be in talks for the role of the hot-tempered womanizer made famous by James Caan. Just reading that paragraph, this would, you know what this is like? This would be like if they would have made Godfather 1, and instead of Marlon Brando, they would have had Leo DiCaprio as
Don Corleone.
Yeah, that would have been great. Can you just imagine that? With like a little mustache, you know, and a whole bunch of crap in his cheek.
Then I cannot do.
Yeah.
Buonasera.
Oh, God. DiCaprio is way too effeminate. You need someone butch for the role, said Charlie Johnson, 38 of Charleston, South Carolina. Why on earth would Sonny be played by a 97-pound pretty boy, asked Trevor Woods, 25 of Houston. DiCaprio should be left to the chick flicks like Titanic, said Eric Antonez, 22 of Boston. Affleck most resembles James Caan in appearance and acting style, wrote Blanche DeStefano, 55 of Queens, New York. DiCaprio is too Anglo-looking. I would say too Martian-looking would be a better term, not Anglo. No, seriously, he looks like he just got off the goddamn spaceship. DiCaprio supporter Kevin Corbett, 14 of Grand Blanc, Michigan, wrote that the actor already showed he can be a womanizer in Woody Allen's Celebrity last year. And, of course, being only 14, Kevin is very naive. Kahn's son Scott, who co-starred in Varsity Blues, also grabbed some votes, with readers citing their familiar resemblance. Now wait till you hear this. Okay, grab a hold of your chairs. Just to prove to you that it's like a disease. It's everywhere, and you can't get away from it. Latin singing sensation Ricky Martin got 3 votes to Live La Vida Costa Nostra, with David Stearns, 42 of Astoria, Oregon, offering that then it could be a musical and they could call it Godfather 4, Sonny Sings. Sings for his supper. Well, they had that one where Valachi sang. Remember that? Some readers suggested casting an unknown. A hunky superstar would tend to overact the role, wrote Godfather fan Mark Nicotra, 27 of Syracuse. P.S. Perhaps even I could play Sonny, he said. Santino. Others shuddered at the notion of a third sequel. There should not be another Godfather, said one. The actors who played the original roles made the movies, and since they can't portray the characters any longer, the trilogy should stand on its own, mainly because they're all dead in the other, you know what I'm saying, said Bill DeMore, 32 of Columbus, Ohio. Then there were playful picks such as Alan Alda, Andy Griffith, Gary Coleman, Richard Simmons, and comedian Carrot Top. Even Star Wars Jar Jar Binks got an endorsement from David Baraski, 29 of Durham, North Carolina, who supplied a movie dialogue. Misa make a deal Yusa can't refuse. Oh, God. All right. There you go. So obviously we're taking this very seriously, this Godfather thing. Very serious. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? How about that Tom Green show? It's the best, isn't it?
It is. Best show on TV. Best one I've ever seen.
That's right. Well, it's on every Thursday at 10:30. That's the regular time for it.
Right. And then Sunday, yesterday they showed
they come on Saturday, too.
Oh, yeah? They showed 2 back-to-back, which was great, like a bonus.
Yeah. Well, his redhead friend, his name's Glenn, but there's this one episode where he takes his parents' car and he brings it back the next day. You know how, like, those Mexican guys, like, they paint the stupid things on their cars, like on the hoods of their cars?
Yeah, we heard about this. The lesbians, yeah, we heard it.
No, he painted one that's called the Slutmobile.
Oh, yeah, like I said.
Yeah, where the girl, and there's the other episode where he played a blind guy.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
No.
No, he was, I don't know, acting like he was a blind guy with a stick, and he was, like, tripping over the garbage can and stuff, and he's taking a plastic chair and trying to fold it up, and going, oh, this is a foldable chair, and he's acting like a complete idiot, and these people really think he's blind.
Yesterday he was diving for change in fountains at shopping malls.
Oh, yeah, Scuba Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best.
Scuba man, yeah. And take from the rich and give to from the poor and give to the rich.
Yeah, and other episode, he's acting like he's a real security guard in the mall. And he's like asking old people did they shoplift and stuff, and they took it seriously.
Okay, pal. Tom Green for Emperor. Thank you. Everybody loves Tom Green. Oh! We want more than 6 goddamn episodes, though. Okay, that's what we want. And like I said, if they need any more dog crap, I got a yard full of it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile 1 line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil. I got all of this you need on Tom Green.
Yeah.
All right. He started in Toronto in one of those video booths. You know, you pay a certain amount of money and they let you on public access. You've seen those in Toronto?
Right.
Well, then he got him picked up by a local news station where he made a entire fool to all the anchors, and he made like a video of his show, and he sent that to MTV. They picked it up. Well, they've only made 6 episodes because there's been a lot of hate mail from right-wing nuts.
There's been hate mail?
Yeah, right-wing nuts.
Can't imagine that.
Oh,
how come right-wing nuts are watching MTV in the first place? By the way.
Because
probably watching a Jennifer Lopez video over and over again.
They like the lesbians on the Real World.
Like I said.
Well, then he moved on and he made those 6 episodes, and he's gonna make more. MTV decided to go ahead and start an entire season of it, and now he's in production of them. So.
God bless you, sir. Thanks for the good news. Now we can live to watch TV another day.
Oh!
All right. See, what did I tell you? I knew that there'd have to be hate. Oh, that's in bad taste, and, yeah, too bad. Go watch something else. Go watch, goddamn, what's his name on there? Dr. Kennedy. He's on for 600 hours on Sunday. Watch all that other bullcrap, the one with the Crystal Cathedral out there, that phony son of a bitch. Watch all that garbage on there, okay? And let the rest of us, with a sense of humor, have a little bit of fun, a little bit of entertainment coming out of that big box. If you're going to have a big box, it might as well be something good. Did we ever decide what we're eating, by the way, or are you still, we're in limbo? This is not good. This is not a good start on your first day back.
Who did you have?
We didn't waste any time last week. They were flying in here. Friday we had Wayne Arnold was here, which Wayne actually showed up himself, along with Hudson. Had a feast. We had Ponytail here on Thursday. We had Chuck brought me some plastic cheese on whatever day that was.
How about Tony's?
We had Tony's, I think, twice, but I'm sure they'll come again if you talk real nice to them. They're probably getting real sick and tired of bringing us all this free food, but I'm sure that if you speak real nice to them and tell them that you're desperate, Tony's will be good. They'll be here fast, I'm sure, like in 2 or 3 hours. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. We're Tom Green intensive today. We're Godfather 4 intensive. We're Vatican book intensive, which I don't think you'll be able to get that book here, huh? Gone with the Wind in the Vatican, but if so, we want to know why. Inquiring minds want to get it immediately, if not sooner. And then, of course, we're cop pimp intensive today, too. Cop charged in pimpering, was a nice guy.
Oh!
Greg Priest, never stole a freight train. Kept his nose clean, never got into any trouble. This thing has command people asking, what happened? See, what the rest of people should be asking is who are all these other cops that were down there morning, noon, and night, whoring these 16 and 17-year-old girls, however many there were, and who the hell were they, and how big were their breasts? Here's Virginia Key. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Another perfect example of police stupidity. Did you hear this weekend that they organized an exchange of guns for Marlin tickets?
Yeah, I had that on Friday. I'm way ahead of you, man. I had the thing on the story on Friday.
They had it on the news this morning. I was rolling over laughing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And they were surprised that no one actually showed up.
Well, I've always said they could hold a gun to your head and nobody would still go to those Marlin games. That's what I always say.
I mean, at least if they were smart, they could give away some of the bag of weed from their evidence storage locker for guns. People would show up.
That's this weekend. We're going to be doing that.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to call and tell you that.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Anybody show up with their guns, by the way? Any spy reports? And what about the Britney Spears thing with the Pompano Beach? I think that's a mistake. Maybe she's at the Coral Sky, because she was in West Palm last week. Although they did have 98 degrees being a Coral Sky on July 10th. They had that right. But, MTV, maybe they make mistakes once in a straight while, like our newspapers here. But we don't seem to have any Britney Spears spy reports in this audience, and that would be a real shame, because I bet you there's a lot of guys listening right now who would give their left ball. See, the MTV censor on Tom Green yesterday said you can't say nut, which I think she's nuts for saying that. Like I said, they'd give their left nut to be able to go see Britney tonight at the amphitheater, wherever she's going to be. But we need to find out. You would think that certainly our friends over at Power 96 next door, are they playing that, or is she not, she's not hoochie-coochie enough? She's not spick enough? Is that the problem? Somebody in this building ought to have the answer to that. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. 10:56 at QAM. We got the Hank Goldberg show at Shula's today at 2. 6 o'clock, we got Donnie B. talking baseball, talking probably about Christina Moore again, the greatest broadcaster in history. And then we got the Marlin pregame show.
The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Can't beat that gator meat.
Yo,
I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger boos. I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger boos. That's a word for greeting friends like all black people do. But whiteys want to say it too so they can sound real cool. I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger boos. Now the bigots have to find another word to use. It used to be real bad, but now it seems okay when African Americans address themselves that way. I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger boos. No longer the vernacular for racial abuse. It used to be taboo, a nasty thing to say, but now it's bandied all about by black folks every day.
Yo.
I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger boos. I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger boos. Six and watch and mix and kikes, you're all included too. It really doesn't matter now, cause everyone is now a screw.
Yo. Check it out. I be Grandmaster Spook. I be swishing my thing, playing with my record. I be swishing it. I got rhythm. Start dancing, bitch. Put the lotion in the basket.
All right. 1103 at 560 WQAM. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Great.
Just wanted to let you know about Britney Spears. That is, in fact, accurate information.
Pompano Beach?
Yeah, it's right at just north of Atlantic Avenue, or Atlantic Boulevard, I guess it is, in Pompano at Federal Highway.
Yeah.
And they've had some comeback bands there recently, too.
Well, how come nobody knows about this?
I don't know. We found it on the Internet.
I looked in the newspapers today. I didn't see anything about it. I mean, next to Ricky Martin and Jennifer Lopez, Britney Spears is the hottest thing since the stove, you know. I don't understand it. There's no publicity.
Well, it's sold out anyway, so don't get worked up in a big fraud.
Well, I'm not the least bit worked up, yeah. Okay, thanks for the good news, sir. It's sold out anyway, but maybe if you take your binoculars to the Mount Palomar telescope and get within like 5,000 yards, you can take a puke in there and see what's going on. Britney Spears in Pompano Beach tonight. Let's hear it, okay? She's at least 14. That's old enough. That's what Greg Priest said. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT. He's a nice guy, Greg Priest, okay? And the Herald. And the Goody Two-Shoes Herald. Where's that editorial I say from last week? I'm never going to let this thing go. About the casinos, those parasitic enterprises, those gambling ships, and those casinos, and those one-armed bandits, and all that evil, evil stuff that goes on in those places. So the Goody Two-Shoes people of the Herald are psychotic about that. But we get a guy whose salary, by the way, the public is paying by. I just should mention that. 31-year-old Miami police cop, Beach. And he and these other cops are running a prostitution ring with underage, with minors, with minor hookers in Kendall and God only knows wherever else. And the story we had last Thursday and Friday about they were coming and going and coming from horses all over town. Police cars there morning, noon, and night. And the Herald's take on this is, yeah, they say he's a pretty nice guy. Had a little problem driving his car and slammed into this and slammed into a mailbox and did this and slammed his motorcycle into an Isuzu. Yeah. But he's a good guy, never stole a freight train. The pimping charge surprised one of his former co-workers. Priest was very clean-cut, easygoing. You would fall in love with him, it says. I mean, talk about putting a spin. Who is spinning it more, him or the Herald? Putting a spin on a story, making it palatable. Maybe the Herald would like some phone numbers, huh? 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Pretty good, sir.
Listen, I want to ask you a quick question.
Go right ahead.
I'm not trying to be nosy or anything, but do you have a pool at your house?
Yes.
Is it heated?
Yes.
I just built a pool, and I just got mine heated by solar. Do you have solar?
No, I do not. I have an electric heater.
Man, that solar is great, but you burn no electricity with it or anything.
Right.
So, you should try it because
Too late now. I spent a lot of money on a great electric pool heater, and I like it a lot.
Oh, good.
I get that thing as warm as a bathtub.
Yeah, but
I get it smoldering in there. It's like the next stage before you go to hell. And since everybody tells me I'm going there, I'm getting a lot of practice.
No kidding. But I'm just saying, you should try solar if you ever get rid of your heat pump.
Okay.
Great. Okay, bye.
Okay, thanks for the good news. There's a guy who's trying to sell solar heating for my pool. Do I want it?
No.
No. But thank you so much anyway, sir, and leave the number with our producer, whatever his name is. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. You notice how things are slacked off a little bit today? It's because George is back. No, that's what you get for saying all those terrible things about your mother. What is it? No, you let him sit there, okay? I've already been through enough torture 1 week, okay? Seen enough body parts. Just a joke. It's just a little joke, okay? You got to have a sense of humor. Hey, look at my shoulder, man. Oh, I guess you don't want to look at that. Ooh, grotesque. At least I don't have any cellulite. Oh, they had this thing on yesterday morning talking about infomercials. Have you ever seen it, the cellulite remover, where they have these big fat women and they show like the backs of their legs and their butt cheeks? Jesus Christ. Makes me feel like Skinny Atlas. Makes me feel like Ichabod Crane. I feel like beautiful when I see that. Seriously. I feel lovely when I see that. How could anything alive walk around looking like that? Was what I thought when I saw that yesterday. Then I came in here this morning and of course, Fat Boy waddled in here and I thought, well, now I know the answer. It's easy.
Is he getting bigger?
Yes, he's getting bigger. And don't you notice he's walking with difficulty again? He got rid of the cane. He lost a little bit of weight. I mean, the doctor, I guess, put a scare into him for a little while. And now he's like just limping around. Barely can move. He's so goddamn big. He's getting bigger again. And Beefo, he's blowing up like a goddamn bufo. Yeah, that's what we ought to call him, bufo. Hank's the only one around here. And Hank and, of course, the lovely Bluff Lindsay. He's losing weight, too. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. It's going to be a rough week. I can see that. Of course, do I really care?
No.
No. I got other matters in my mind this week.
For Christ's sake, I only had one.
Oi!
For Christ's sake, I only had one.
Oi!
Yeah, we heard you the first one.
Hello, suckers. My name is Columba. I got off the plane after shopping in France to put your money away. I bought designer clothes, expensive baubles and jewels, and knew in advance the duty tax was due. I tried very hard to smuggle, and they wouldn't let me buy. But I did not get in trouble.
No.
'Cause I'm the governor's wife. Yes, I'm just obedient wife who wants to live up my life with special favors. After all, my husband's brother will soon be your dictator. I'm like Florida Davida. I buy anything I need and just one thing more. I'll be Chuck risking family values when I get back from the store.
You look at whore.
All right.
11:13 at 560 WQAM. Like I said, nobody cares. Columba, she goes over there. I mean, why even beat a dead horse in that? And I noticed Carl Hyson had a column on it yesterday. Mentioned that Howard was talking about it. Did you notice that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Howard was talking about it. That was also in the paper last week in the Herald that Howard was talking about it. We even got a song on this show about it. We got a comedy bit about it. Did they mention that?
No.
See, I understand through the grapevine that nobody on QAM will be mentioned in the Herald unless it's a scathing commentary by Barry Jackass. That's the new deal now. Just wait till Greg Reed files that lawsuit for alienation of affections, man. Then you're really going to be singing a different tune over there. You know what I'm saying? You might even sing one in English, but I doubt it. 567. Oh, yeah, that's front page of the paper this morning. Here we go. Not that they're pandering at the Herald. Where is it? Every day, every goddamn day of my life on a Miami Herald. Where's that damn thing? I got it here somewhere. Front page about Brazil is this and Uruguay is in Uranus. So where the hell is that stupid thing? I got it here. Just relax. Now that's the Sun Sentinel. I got it. Here it is. No, that ain't it. What the? Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. One moment, please. I got it chopped up in little pieces, which is what you ought to do with the Herald, by the way, is chop it up into little teeny tiny pieces. Brazil summit raises hopes. Oh! Every goddamn day of our lives, it's another desperate attempt, just like that New Yorker article said, pandering, desperately pandering with this Hispanic, and the Hispanics still hate the goddamn Herald like poison. They wouldn't even wipe their rectum with it. Okay? So every day of our lives, the rest of us have, yesterday it was something about Latin music, and last week there was another thing about some kind of Latin music that nobody ever heard of before, even on the Spanish language music stations. Is the Herald ever going to write anything of interest to anybody who speaks English?
No.
Thank you. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Hollywood. Hello. With 4 question marks.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir?
Yeah, about Tom Green. There's this one special episode where it's a spring break episode, and he happens to be on this cruise ship. And what they do is they shave his chest hair, and they put it in between 2 slices of bread, and they offer it to people. And I just thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And last thing, Britney Spears, I want to bang in the butt.
Okay, thanks for the good news. She'll be right there at Pompano Beach tonight, sir. Take a good close look at that.
Rectum.
Think about it for a while, and then good luck. Okay, 2 calls left on the board. I guess we can probably eat lunch in peace today, okay? After the last couple of weeks, we had a little too much action on the show for 2 straight weeks. Better calm it right down to summertime blues. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Weston. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yo, Neil, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, with all of your talent and skills and know-it-all, how come you're such a racist?
Meaning what? With all of my talent and skill and know-how, I'm a racist?
Yes.
Meaning what?
Meaning you're a racist.
No, I'm not.
You're not?
No, I'm not. I'm going to say it for the 5 millionth time. I like nice people, okay? I like people that got an IQ bigger than their thumbnail. Nice people. I don't care if they're white or they're black or they're yellow or I don't care what they are. What makes you say that I'm a racist? Where does that come from?
Well, with all of your crap that you put on the radio.
Crap like what? What crap?
The N-I-G-G-E-R.
I'm a nigger. That song, that's a takeoff on another record that we play.
Yeah.
Yeah? How come we can play Me a Honky and that's okay? We can make fun of white people or Jewish people, old Jews, or stuff like that. But
sure.
See, I hate to break the news. 56705, yo, buddy. As soon as somebody says yo, I know I'm dealing with a real asshole, okay? And by the way, there's nothing more embarrassing than white guys trying to act black. You know, it's interesting how many millions of black people over the 300 years of slavery and of oppression, how many millions of black people would have given anything to have awakened the next morning and been white. Now we got a whole deal. We got a whole bunch of white people who only wish that they could be black. You see how what goes around turns around? Or how's that thing go? Turn it around your rectum. Yeah, and bend over, pal. It's the Nigga Neil Show here, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. A guy like you with your intelligence, how come you're such a goddamn racist, you a mocky Jew bastard fag you? Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello?
Yeah, Neil, first-time caller, Fred.
Yes, sir.
Keep the good jokes rolling and stuff. And did you hear?
I'm listening.
Did you hear about it?
Real funny, Fred. Not. 567-0560, pound 560. It's the summertime, baby. They're on the loose. They're on the loose. They got out of the caboose. Speaking of getting out of the caboose, by the way, have you noticed the new thing in American law enforcement while they're not busy doing these pimp deals with these underage prostitutes? They're busy letting all kinds of criminals escape from jail, like the serial killer down there in Texas. And like the guy here in town the other day that tried to run over the 3 cops that they had handcuffed to the chair, who wanted to think about his confession for a couple of minutes, give him some time alone. And they said, okay. And they came back, and what a surprise, he was long gone. Oh! All right. Yeah, this is a new deal in law. Well, we had him right here. Oh, crap. Familiar with Ted Bundy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they probably know Ted Bundy, too. He walked right out one time. Another time he went through the roof. Yeah, no problem at all. On those rare occasions when they do catch somebody, they just kind of like wander out. We just went out to get some coffee and check on the donuts. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hey, Neil, it was just something else on the Britney Spears show. My daughters had softball tournaments up in Pompano over the weekend.
Yeah.
And they finished up the championship game was at one of the ball fields close to the amphitheater. And she was doing her sound checks and everything yesterday. And it didn't sound bad from outside, but, you know, they didn't punish security even for
well, I mean, one thing we would all agree on is you can't sing a lick. I mean, you might be able to lick it, but you can't sing worth a crap, you know.
No, you're right. And then
even Jennifer Lopez sings better than Britney, and Jennifer Lopez can't sing a lick either. But she sure as hell has a real perverted video.
Did you see when she was on Disney?
Who?
Britney Spears.
No, I did not.
My daughters even pointed out that she must be wearing a thermal bra.
Yeah.
You know, and that, you know, because there was.
Oh, they're real, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're real. Anybody believe it?
No.
They're real.
Yeah, right. Right. All right, and what color are your vets now?
Black and blue. Have a great day, pal.
Thanks, man.
I'm writing a book. Do you have a pool? Would you like solar heating?
No.
What color are your vets? Can you?
No.
Get a life, you people out there. Get your own life. Stop trying to live a vicarious life through goddamn Britney Spears, Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin, all of these other people. They're not coming to your house for dinner tonight, okay? They're not going to come to your house and spread their legs, lick your anus, do any of these other things. Forget it. Get a life. Get a real life, not a vicarious life, okay? Get a real, even if it's a crappy life, get one. Now, that's a great idea. A lot of people are bored during the summer months. It's hot. It's sweltering. The mosquitoes are as big as goddamn bowling balls. While you're sweating your brains out here during the summer months, why not get some friends together if you can find one, or even some people, some strangers, and get a life? Would be so good, so refreshing. So that maybe by Labor Day, maybe somebody out there might actually have discovered a life during the summertime, and we can say, all right, something good happened here finally. 567-0560, #5. See, I made a bad mistake today. I made a very bad judgment. I shouldn't have talked about Tom Green, because I guarantee you that 95% of the people in this audience don't know Tom Green from Bob Green. That's right. Only Tom's got a better sense of humor and isn't quite so short. 567-0560, #560 on the end, or is macho either. Here's a mobile invoker. Hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you today?
Great.
Just a little side note from your friend Ricky Martin. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
He had some girlfriend trouble.
Yeah, right.
So, well, the big headline in last week's tabloids was Ricky Martin says, "I'm finished with women."
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
I thought
Of course, they didn't mention that that quote was from when he was 10 years old. Yeah.
And you have a great day.
And back to you, sir. I'm glad you reminded me of that. That was in the Globe or the Tatler or the Inquirer or the Star, one of those great American newspapers.
Oh!
Yeah, Ricky Martin says, "I'm through with women. I'm pissed off," and et cetera and so on. He says, "I'm turning over a brand new leaf." 567-0560, #560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Hallandale. Hello.
Neil, how you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Okay.
One, Tom Green, awesome.
Yeah.
I found that by watching Talk Soup once in a while, and they show the clips. I finally found it. It's mainly on Thursday nights.
Thursday nights at 10:30, right after Celebrity Death Watch.
That's right.
Match.
And second, did you happen to read the letter of the editors yesterday in the Sun Sentinel?
Probably.
About Rosie O'Donnell?
No.
This lady wrote a letter talking about Rosie O'Donnell and wants everyone that owns a gun thrown in jail and all that crap.
Yeah.
And she writes, the problem is we need God back in the schools.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
That's
yeah.
her solution.
Mm-hmm.
Some dumb bitch.
God and prayers back in the schools. That's good. Oh, yeah, well, you have all these other assholes say that. You see, I hate to break the news to you. When I went to school, God wasn't in the school, and prayers weren't in the schools, and nobody had guns, and nobody brought knives to school, and nobody was getting shot in school, and we didn't have metal detectors and all this other crap, and that was without God and the prayers and all the other bull crap. When the hell was the God ever in the school in the first place? This is a pile of bull crap.
I say, put this bitch with a gun in Rosie O'Donnell's house and just shoot her.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye
Thanks
now.
for the good news, okay? Maybe Rosie can do it. 600 open lines here, 567-0560, #560 on the AT&T wireless line. Obviously, this audience not the least bit inspired by the prospects for Godfather 4. Here's Hollywood. Like I said, here's Mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
You're better off talking about Mo Green than Bob Green.
Yeah.
Anyway,
How's Mo doing, by the way? Okay, thanks. That was it. That was his material. 567-0560. Like I told you, we're going to play Ricky Martin records all day if you don't get with it, folks. No. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. 567-0560, #560 on the AT&T wireless line. Great. Let's try Margate. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Neil, that's with an N, not an M. With
Sorry.
An N.
I just wanted to direct your attention to page 5B of the local section today.
Yeah.
It talks about the incestuous relationship. It's a whole full page ad taken out by the Sawgrass Mills Mall, talking about Wayne Huizenga and the city of Sunrise, how they're not. It's called, when it comes to the secret mall deal, something is fishy in the city of Sunrise.
Wayne would never lie to us. We know that.
Well, I figured you'd be interested as a Sunrise resident, and
I don't live in Sunrise. I live in Plantation Acres. I don't live in Sunrise. I would live in Sunrise if they paid me by the minute.
Well, in any event, I thought just wanted to direct your attention.
I'm not old enough to live in Sunrise.
It's page 5B of the local section.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Am I going to look at it?
No.
No, I already know all about that. Again, it's old news, man. It's old frickin' news. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. I come on here day after day after day, and I bang on these things, and I scream about them. Does anybody pay any attention?
No.
And then they call me like 2 weeks later. Oh, by the way, Wayne wants to build this big thing across from the Sawgrass. Oh, thanks for the bulletin, okay? Thank you so much, you racist bastards. I'll tell you what, I'll make it a lot easier for you, okay? I am a racist, mother-scratching bastard. How do you like that? You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Good. I'm not too crazy about anybody, although I do like my Chinese friends, especially at the Emerald Coast, because they have great food. That's right.
You go to hell and you die. You go to hell and you die.
Why is that happening? Why am I like hitting that twice every time? Well, I'm a little bit nervous, but nevertheless. Well, that's because I'm a racist, you know. Mother.
Tell me that you love my eyes, but I know that you keep on checking out my thighs.
Yes.
Don't blame you 'cause I'm very cute. Check out my breath, they're poking on my lips at you. You come on to me and whisper things in my ear, and it sounds soft, but if you wanna date me, you slow. There's things about me I don't think you know. I'm underage.
All right.
17. You should be scared of me.
Squirt, squirt.
'Cause you could go to jail if you sleep with me. If I scream, you end up praising me. She was 25, but she's just a teen. Perfect teen. I bet my legs are free. Daddy called the cops last night. My breasts are perfect and neat because I've had surgery. None of my skirts reach my knees. My butt just hangs right out of my shorts. She's underage. She okay. You should be scared of her. Scared of me? That Rolling Stones grenade and dynamite. Put aside, she's looking right.
Will you fudge back?
She looks 25, but she's just a teen.
11:33, and now she's 17. That's close to 18. That's what Greg Priest must have been thinking too. 16, that's close to 17, and that's pretty close to 18. Huh? There's like a little progression there, you know. And of course, 15 is close to 16, which is very close to 17, and that's right next door to 18.
You know how they have fake IDs so that the kids can buy alcohol?
No.
Maybe we should get fake IDs going back the other way. Just for her.
Okay.
If I put some blackum in my hair?
Yeah. She'd say, forget it. 5, 6, plus how do you know that she's into guys? You know, that doesn't seem to be the thing with all these recording artists lately. There seem to be a lot of those, in there. You never know. Now that would be a criminal, wouldn't it? That would be a shame. Even I would
not if
say
you
that.
let us watch.
Although I'll be honest with you, now that, and keep in mind that the guy that she's, in the video, you know, the guy that she's, psychotic over, that's, wandering around on the beach that we don't see nearly enough, he's a, male model from San Diego, by the way. I just mentioned that in passing. I don't want you to make no assumptions off the bat that he's a male model from San Diego. So, figure that out. And she's got the hots for him, so there you go. Plus, did you see the dancers, the guys in that, the dancers that are swishing around her in that, oh man. One of them, I swear to God, all 10 toes leave the ground at the same time. The little kind of gooky looking one. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Racist.
Yeah, okay, so that's going to be our poll question today, by the way. Since I've already been fingered as being a racist here, what percentage of dark-complected folks have to leave America? What percentage in order for the streets to be safe again? Huh? Don't you think that's a reasonable question?
Uh-huh.
I think that's, in order to make America more livable again, what percentage of folks darker than, let's say, Sherry Belafonte have to leave as of noon today? And it's already 11:35. Huh? Well, Sherry, she's not too dark. She's just right, I would say. What percentage of black America darker than Malcolm on The Young and the Restless? Oh, that would be an awful lot, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
Have to get on those big cruise ships. Hey, maybe Mickey Harrison can make a big thing out of this, And I'm sure the Herald would go along with it because, they used to be members of those clubs that didn't include Jews and blacks and, people like who weren't like them, old Goyim. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Did you see the law now that in Denver they passed that? Now there's a law where you can actually hit your kids.
You can do what? Yeah, you can get in Colorado, yeah.
In Colorado or whatever.
Yeah, spank, not hit, spank.
Spank, and you won't go to jail for it.
Right.
Yeah, but it took a bombing of, 3 buildings for them to pass a law?
Bombing of 3 buildings, yeah. Okay, whatever you say, sir. Bombing of 3 buildings. You know what he's talking about? Yeah. 567-0560, that's one of your boyfriends, by the way. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Now that George is back, we got all our good friends back this week. They weren't here too much last week when you were away. They missed you badly. In fact, I should have given out your home phone number. Oh, kept you real busy all week. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
How are you, booby?
Okay.
Neil, my girlfriend gave me a little, inside knowledge on Britney Spears. Allegedly, I think it was her daddy.
Britney Spears?
Yeah, Britney Spears. Well, she's got a new pair, so. Her daddy, supposedly, he's the one who I think paid for the implants, the collagen, the the career.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She basically said, Daddy, I want to be rich, so.
Well, a lot of people owe Daddy big time then, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's obvious, like you say, she can't sing a lick. She might lick it, but she can't sing a lick.
That's what I said, yeah.
But, that's the way it is now in the era of...
Well, you look at the top 3 singles right now. Number 1 on Billboard is Jennifer Lopez.
Can't sing a lick either.
I'll be honest with you, from the chin down she's pretty good, but from the chin up, well, she sure plays a mean chin ball is what I hear. But nevertheless, from the chin up, I give her maybe a 6.5. Not that great, but from the chin down. And, of course, the video is erotic.
Yeah, but she's better than Britney.
No.
Don't you think?
From the chin down.
Listen.
Well, yeah, and probably they're real, too.
Yeah, well, I was
she's a little, Jennifer Lopez is a little more mature. I would say that Britney is more to you, chicken chasers out there.
Yeah, Jennifer might have more mileage.
Right.
Well, it's the era of the music video. You don't have to be talented anymore. You just got to look good.
That's right.
This Godfather 4 thing? I think I'm going to boycott all the great old movies I used to love. Why don't we just get Tony Danza to play young Pantangelo?
And thank God back in the 50s and 60s it wasn't that way, that great singers like Fabian and Frankie Avalon, they had the big hits, They're just looking good. Tab Hunter, just looking good didn't make you into music stuff. Oh! Elvis, Pat Boone, all those guys.
Well, that's a little bit before me, though.
Well, same old crap,
Listen, Godfather 4?
Yes, sir.
We got Leo. I say we get Tony Danza to play young Pantangelo with a Harvey Firestein voiceover. Britney Spears to play Tom Hagen after a sex change, and narrated by James Earl Jones.
Okay, thank you so much. And if Harvey can't make it, by the way, how about the water Nazi? She sounds a little like Harvey, huh? She could have played.
Don Corleone.
Yeah, easy. Little mustache, little cotton in her cheeks. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. 22 till noon on QAM. Oh, it's going to be a really ponderous Monday. You can smell it. Can't you smell it? Yeah.
You know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
So kick me.
11:42 at 560 WQAM. Here's a fact that says, I'm pissed off and fired up. It's okay when the Pope goes to St. Louis and asks the governor not to execute a murderer because it's against the Catholic Church. But if you reveal the secrets of the Vatican, you're going to be punished by firing. Sickening, it says. That's what Robert says on here. Sickening. Oh! You're right, Robert. Well, what do you expect from a guy in a dress with a, old beanie on? An old unwashed beanie? That's shaking it real bad these days? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Weston. Hello.
Yes. Neil.
Yes, sir.
Did you? I was out of town last week. I don't know if you saw this. There was a quote from one of your favorite guys, Bob Costas, about athletes.
Yes, I did, sir. We talked about that Friday. Thank you so much. See what I'm saying? Old stuff, okay? Yes, we did, sir. It was great, wonderful, even though Bob Costas is still a little twerper. We can't stand him. We hate him like poison, as a matter of fact. But nevertheless, once in his life, he said something that made sense. about athletes thanking God. The Lord did this and Jesus did that. In the meantime, people are dying all over the world, and the Lord and Jesus don't have time to pay attention to that. They're worried about athletes and ball games. What kind of mindless simpleton believes these ridiculous, maniacal fairy tales for little infants in a sandbox somewhere who would say to that crap? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Boynton Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil?
Yes, I am.
Neil God. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Great.
Wanted to ask you, where do you get some of those, where can you buy some of those records the music that you...
Can't do it,
can't?
sir. Cannot do it.
I love some of them. They're really great. Anyway, just wanted to say hello.
Okay, thank you, and goodbye. 567-0560. They got no material today, man. They ran dry. I mean, they outdid themselves these last 2 weeks. I mean, they just were I don't want to say fantastic, actually kind of weak. But, better than usual this time of the year. But here it is, June 28th, almost goddamn 4th of July, and they're drained.
Squirt.
They're getting ready for Brittany tonight, boy. I bet you they're really draining it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Any interest at all in this show today?
No.
They're all watching old tapes of Tom Green. God damn him. No, I love Tom Green. In fact, that was the only reason it was worthwhile being here in this town over the weekend, was discovering, just by accident, just by channel surfing, the Tom Green Show on MTV. Here's a mobile in Parkland. Hello.
Neil, God.
Yes, sir.
How you doing this morning?
Great.
Neil, I've been waiting to hear all morning your comments on our new acquisition for the Panthers.
Well, what do you mean you've been waiting all morning to hear that? What in the world could I possibly, besides the fact that this kid is the ugliest one in the draft, next to these Sedin twins that Vancouver took? This kid is fat and ugly. Other than that, what do you want me to tell you?
What about...
why would I rush to judgment? What about Trevor Kidd? Trevor Kidd's better than Kirk McLean. He's okay.
Do you think they're going to be starting him or Sean
No,
Burke?
no way. He's never going to be a starter anywhere. He's a very capable backup to Sean Burke, and let's pray that we actually have some defense this year. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and start passing comment. I watched the NFL draft, but what am I going to say? Oh, geez, there goes. Now, how do you like that? Now, that means somebody in there, somebody picked up the phone somewhere here. Somebody's potchking around in the building with our phone, like in the other room. Thank you so much to whatever asshole in the other room picked up our phone right there on the air. That was good. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm having technical glitches myself. The people in the other room are picking up the goddamn phone on us. This is a good day to have stayed home. You know what I'm saying? 567-0560, pound 560. I mean, who the hell can anybody even pronounce this kid's name? I got it here somewhere. Panthers' first pick, Ukrainian forward, Denis Shvitky. And you notice, by the way, that Brian Murray, he made Tim Murray say the name because Shvitky, can you just hear him trying to say Shvitky? He can't say the name, the spokesman. So he didn't say it. In fact, he didn't say much of anything. He said, it's going to be a super selection by the Panthers, and we're going to really kick some ass. Is what he said. And they all went, oh, yeah, Brian, get out of here. Let's move on to a real team now, okay? Yeah, this kid, really grotesque. I mean, you talk about ugly. So I guess the Panthers may not pick the best selection, but we picked the ugliest kid in the whole NHL draft. Sure, we don't want no competition there for Ray Whitney and Pavel Bure, okay? As far as looking human goes. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I would say Trevor Kidd is a step up as a backup from Kirk McLean, a good step up. Nice going there, Trevor. Just don't plan on playing too much. Not too much, like maybe about 15 games. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello. Mobile in Kendall.
Neil, God.
Yes, sir.
I got a spy report for you. I'm on the highway, and guess what? They're trucking for Jesus now.
All right.
Okay.
What does
Love
it
your
say?
show.
What does it say?
Trucking for Jesus. I'm reading the back of it. It's a rig. It delivers flowers, and it says trucking for Jesus.
Yeah, well, guess what? Britney Spears has got a bumper sticker at her concert tonight that rhymes with trucking for Jesus. 567-0560. In fact, maybe that was the one down in Kendall. Maybe that's what they got on that 16-year-old. She's got Britney beat by a year, okay, moving that clock back like George likes to do. The 16-year-old down there in Kendall, she's got one that rhymes with trucking for Jesus. And Greg Priest says, all right. Because he's a good guy, never stole a freight train. The Herald says he's a good guy. Yeah. Cop charged in pimpering, a nice guy. That would be like on the front page of the Herald if they said, Ted Bundy never stole a freight train, just misunderstood. Just badly treated as a child. Boy, I mean, you talk about somebody must be getting paid off somewhere in this town. I'll tell you, it's unbelievable. 567-05. And by the way, you Miami cops, man, you really cracked me up. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Great.
Just came back 5 days in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
What a great place it is.
Uh-huh. And then you came back here. Well, I apologize profusely, but the Herald don't want none of that going on here.
Stayed at the Venetian.
Uh-huh. How
Beautiful
was it?
place. Not 100% completed,
Right.
but still a great place. Went to the Rosewood. A fantastic place.
You mentioned my name at the Rosewood?
No, it was late at night.
Good.
Another thing.
Good thinking.
Did you see any of the Marlin game yesterday?
Did I see the Marlin game yesterday? Oh, yeah. I watched that thing intensely from like about the top of the fourth till the middle of the top of the fourth.
Oh, I don't remember what inning it was, but they were promoting a appearance online with Jeff Rimmer. And they were saying something, and Tommy Hutton also said, well, if you listen to Rimmer, you'll know where to get a free meal. They stunk.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, they're always ripping him an ass, and then he blames me for it. You know, oh, well, you put him up to that. Yeah, like I wouldn't know Tommy Hutton from Gloria Hutton, okay, from Betty Hutton.
I mean, I don't watch too many Marlin games because they're so bad, but I just happened to catch it. I thought that was a pretty good one.
Nice going. Always like that, Tommy Hutton.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks for the good news, sir. Yeah, that's what I say. 567-0560. It's so boring in this town. Let's have a little bit of excitement, okay? Let's have Britney Spears stark naked there in Pompano Beach, and we'll put it on goddamn Channel 4, which, by the way, speaking of Channel 4, I'm so glad I segued into this. They were doing the news live from Dayland Friday afternoon. I'm going to tell you something. If Angela Ray doesn't explode one of these days, they must have a bicycle pump stuck way up in her rectum. I mean, have you ever seen her? Angela Ray on Channel 4. She is the most obnoxious. I mean, in the beginning, she was like a little bit like that, but now she's carrying it to an extreme because obviously they're not getting any ratings. And that Ken Rosado, the one that trills the R's, you know, that Julio from wherever the hell they shipped him in from, doing that. Ken Rosado, who wants to make sure he is disgusting, nauseating, puke-inducing. But Angela Ray, oh, man. And it's always great when they have to segue into a real sad story, like, 16 people got killed in a bus crash or something, and she goes from, and then all of a sudden she puts that real stern look on her face, And now let's go over to Brian Norcross. Yeah. I noticed Brian was doing a pretty good job of cruising there in Dayland on I'm sorry. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. By the way, did you see anybody who spoke English in Dayland Friday? No. Oh, see, there you go again, you bigot, you racist, you whatever you are, faggot. Yeah. Here's a lady mobile in Plantation. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
Have you seen or talked about on your show lately, I don't really know, the homeless people who give out flyers and collect money on the street corners? I know you've seen them around because you live in a similar place.
I saw a thing. In fact, I clipped something out the other day. Here, I got it right here. Pan to stop panhandling. Give your money to the advisory board instead. And they're still going to make it legal. You can still go out there and panhandle, but the advisory board's going to take your money and give it to the homeless organization, which I don't understand why we need an advisory board. If you want to give money to, like, Camilla's house or money to the home, why not just give it direct?
Exactly.
Why do we have to have a pimp?
And you're teaching these people that they can just stand on a corner and beg for money.
I hate that. I despise it. I can't stand it. And I'm going to tell you, as much as I love Toronto, if you ever were up there, every half a block there's somebody else sitting on the street. Spare some change, mister. You go in the subway, spare some change. And then they're playing the fiddle and they're doing all this other stuff,
Well, all I know is I have to go through the intersection of 595 and Pine Island about 100 times a day back and forth through there. And every time I'm there, like 3 different people come up to my car and look at me and like beg me for money, and I want to roll down my window.
How can a country? Now, listen to me. How can a country that's as rich as this one, okay, that's got as much money? How can we allow there to be people sleeping on the streets, panhandling out there, homeless, penniless? How can we do that?
Well, it's
what time's lunch?
It's unacceptable, and I mean the amount of money. You're right. That's in America is disgusting. The amount of money that you.
I mean, we got all these fat cats, all these overfed. I mean, 50% of the country, we're all fat, walking around like a bunch of tubs, and we got homeless, starving people out there in the streets. You talk about having no goddamn conscience. That's America for you.
Hey, I totally agree, and I think you're doing great. And I'm a lady mobile who listens when I can.
Okay.
Take it easy, Neil.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, seriously, I mean, I'm ambivalent about that, although I do like free meals, okay, and I still feel bad about Roots Chris. Oh, by the way, speaking of Roots Chris, well, you don't know which waiter I'm talking about anyway, because we didn't have our regular waiter there. Oh, yeah, we did. The night that we all went. I'll tell you about the waiter later, off the air. Somebody ran into him. 567. Well, he runs into a lot of people in a lot of the same places. Like you didn't know that? Like a waiter in a restaurant, you didn't know that he's a nice guy? Like he's, What do I keep doing these things for? I can't stop myself today. I've made more technical problems today than I have all the last 10 years put together. It's all because George is back. I mean, it's because I'm under a lot of stress. What am I hitting wrong buttons for? There you go. Yeah, so let me forget to tell you about the waiter. Okay, let's go to, but anyway, I'm still a little bit upset about them not giving an offer. And not that we wanted. We didn't want anything for free. We didn't want a dessert, no coffee. But to offer it, see, it's like a nice gesture. Did they do it?
No.
No. Not that time. But nevertheless, I still have compassion for the homeless and the starving people. Do I give them any money?
No.
No. And I should. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Never. When you come to an intersection, and they're standing there, it's like a menacing thing too. They're like standing there and you're waiting for a red light. They've got a captive audience, and they got that cup, and they and they got that permit that says they got between 1 and 7 p.m. at this location, and for another $50 a month, they can do a better one.
And what's this Cossack Foundation? The people with the T-shirts and the orange hats that you see everywhere now. Yeah.
Is that like a Husad Shako?
They're helping people in America.
I thought he was on a show with Greta Van Susteren.
You've seen him.
Roger. He has a foundation?
Cossack. I don't know. You've
Sounds
seen
like a
people.
sack to me. I never saw that.
They look like homeless people. They look like they just cleaned up all these derelicts and
what
stuck
are
a
they?
T-shirt and a hat on. I don't know. Helping people in America, and they're passing buckets at every intersection in Broward County. I'm surprised you haven't seen them.
Well, when you see a bucket, just say it, okay? That's my motto. Here's Cooper City. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. How are you? I just
Great.
went back to the Greg Priest story.
Yes?
Do you know who his father-in-law is?
No.
No idea. Al Boza?
Oh, Al Boza's the police spokesperson.
Absolutely.
It's his father-in-law?
That's his father-in-law.
He was quoted in that story the other day. Al Boza.
Yep, Bozo.
From the Miami Beach Police Department.
Exactly.
The one that did such a great job there on the Cunanan thing, remember?
Right.
When
right.
they said, oh, yeah, there was nobody in there, and they said, oh, well, wait a minute, maybe there was.
Just want to inform you.
Thanks for the good news.
Thank you.
Okay. Maybe that's why this story, I don't want to mention, blame poor Al Bozo. He's got enough problems of his own on his hands, I guess, if that's his son-in-law. Or whatever. I don't understand a story this grotesque and this widespread, evidently, from the little bits and pieces we're able to get, why it's being so incredibly covered up there, huh? Because we certainly know that police, being human beings, they want to go out there and get laid, they want to get a little ahead, they want to get ahead in life. What's wrong with that? They want to move up the old ladder, if she's real short.
Sports Radio 560. Oh! Sports Lauderdale.
She won't go down, but it is up again. You're never gonna keep it down. She won't go down, but it is up again. You're never gonna keep it down. She won't go down, but it is up again. You're never gonna keep it down. She won't go down, but it is up again. You're never gonna keep it down.
Kissing is fun today. With yourself you must play.
He tried a whiskey drink, he tried a vodka drink. He needed her to drink to get her into kink. He tells her that it really makes him feel good. He tells her that what the hell, he's already got one.
There's no way, boy, no way, boy, I'd enjoy.
She won't go down, but it is up again. You're never gonna keep it down. She won't go down, but it is up again. You're never gonna keep it down. She won't go down, but it is up again. You're never gonna keep it down. She won't go down, but it is up again. You're never gonna keep it down.
WQAM. So we want to thank Brad and our good friends at Tony's for another fantastic free lunch today. There are people starving and we're eating free lunch. Do we feel bad about that?
No.
No. 19329 Northwest 2nd Avenue in North Dade here. Tony's, they do a great job. And, of course, you notice more and more we're getting our lunches from Tony's. You know what that means? It must be pretty damn good, besides being free.
Good deal. Really good deal.
The best deal in the city is what I hear. That's what Saluzzo and McCluskey said. Give it a shot. Good mozzarella sticks, too, by the way. Shouldn't be having this because they're breaded, but just a little bit. Just a little taste will do you. So anyway, let me ask you this, okay? Do you see people out there give money to these people that are panhandling out there in the corners, like intersections of I-95 and all the other goddamn places around town that are there with their little cardboard sign in their cup? And are we being indifferent and callous? Because I don't give them any money. And in Toronto, when I'm walking down Yonge Street there, and every other half a block there's somebody saying, spare some change, mister. I just keep looking straight ahead like everybody else does. Because as much as I'd like to give them a loony or a toonie or whatever, or maybe some of those cheap Canadian quarters, the fact is that if I gave them to everybody, by the time I got to the foot of Yonge Street, I'd be sitting there saying, hey, spare some change, mister. That's right. What the hell was that? Oh, they're starting with the drilling again today? Are these people crazy or what? Huh?
Yes.
They're starting that crap again down here. Thought we had that squared away on Friday. All of a sudden, the dentist is in. Here's a lady mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Neil?
ma'am. Yes,
Hi.
I am.
Listen, long-time listener, I love you. And one time I wanted to tell you about a homeless person that had a sign out that said he was hungry.
Yeah.
I had just come from the fruit market, and I had apples, and I gave him an apple, and he gave me the filthiest look.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, I guess
that's
not what he
You could have made it into apple cider real quick.
Anyway, I just want to let you know, but I think Tom Green stinks. I can't stand him. He's obnoxious.
You don't like Tom Green?
No, and if he ever came up to me, and if I was a guy, I would kick his ass. I think he's obnoxious.
Okay,
but
thanks.
I love you.
See ya. See, the women don't like Tom Green. That's a guy thing, you know. Just like we have almost no women listeners on this show because I'm crude and obnoxious and disgusting. And women are goody two-shoes, and we know that they don't stink, you know. Although at least she likes me. That's good. That's a good start. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. See, you can't buy any booze with an apple. Don't you understand that, man? You can't buy any booze with an apple with whatever else you would give. If you give them a ham and cheese sandwich, that would be nice, but you can't buy booze with a ham and cheese sandwich. Wouldn't you have more respect if they just had a thing out there, I need $1 for a beer? Huh? Wouldn't that be more honest? Yeah. Need a couple of bucks for booze. At least that would be honest. Anybody have Henry Barrow's phone number for just a little bit of that cheap Grandma Boone? Something like that would be good. Here's a mobile in Pompano. Hello. Mobile in Pompano.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Two things. First, did you hear anything about the Seminoles building the casino in Coconut Creek?
No.
I heard they were going to pay the city $25 million, that they won some kind of hearing in federal court, and they're going to go full gaming right in Coconut Creek.
What do you mean full gaming? What does that mean?
Full casino gaming.
How can they do that?
They were fighting a battle with the feds, and they were trying to negotiate a deal with the state of Florida that if the state would allow them to go full gaming, they'd cut them in for a chunk of it. And the state of Florida said no, and they said that if we win this battle in federal court, and they did, that you're going to cut Florida in for nothing.
Yeah, well, that's a Bruce Babbitt thing. The Secretary of the Interior, he's already okayed it in some of the other states, and we're sitting waiting breathlessly to find out if it's going to be okayed here. And, of course, if it is, then the state's going to fight tooth and nail. Bobby Butterworth and Jebby Bush and all these guys are going to be screaming bloody murder. But you know something? If the federal government says it's okay because they're the ones that got jurisdiction, and Bush and Butterworth won't be able to do anything about it.
I heard it was a done deal.
Great.
That they're just beating this. They have to pay the city $25 million at Coconut Creek for road improvements and all that.
Yeah, but that part, maybe that part of it, but a done deal as far as getting full gambling in here, that depends on the federal government.
I heard that it was done.
All right. Thanks for the good news, sir. We'll be the first ones lined up right there. We can stick it right on the Herald.
Rectum.
That's right. Boy, you think they'd be having a nervous breakdown about that or what? Oh, yeah. Bobby Butterworth, he'd come right back down here from Tallahassee. You think we don't have enough problems already with Ken Jenny? We'll get Bobby Butterworth back, making sure who's being naughty and nice. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. I bet you we don't have anybody in this audience gives any money. These poor bastards out there, these people are unshaven, unclean, homeless, destitute, grotesque. We don't have one person in this audience that helps them out with a quarter, 50 cents, $1, six-pack, anything. What the hell's wrong with you? Good for your lunch today, by the way. Here's West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
If you ask any of those people on the corners, they can always break a 20 for you too. So even try to give them money. I was watching a movie the other morning, Uncle Neil.
I'm going to try that next time. Got change for 100?
Yeah, they'll break it for you every time.
Okay.
I was watching a movie the other morning, and in honor of the 4th of July, it was a Revolutionary War movie, and I didn't know this, but apparently there was another use for the little drummer boys back during the Revolutionary War, in the Civil War.
Yeah.
And the general would haul them all up to the tent in the evening, have the sergeant major haul them up there, and if they didn't want to comply, why, he would whip them and beat them and...
wreck them.
Exactly.
That's what I hear, he wrecked them, yeah.
Exactly. And for all the Christian folks out there this morning, the collective ass of Iowa fell off this morning. On the Today Show, I saw... you know how they have the weatherman, he runs around out in the crowd, sort of like a Richard Simmons of the weatherman out there seeing the crowd.
The ugliest man on the face of the earth. And he's definitely going back, by the way.
Exactly, shiny head and all. These two guys were standing over there holding the sign, and the sign said, "Jill, will you marry me?" And he stuck the microphone up in his face and said, "Would you like to propose to someone?" And the one guy looked at the other one and said, yeah, him, and they kissed.
All right. Great.
And he couldn't run away fast enough. Katie was spitting. Matt didn't know what to do.
Well, I bet you Al Roker faced her in Red Ole. We couldn't tell.
It was great. If you could have seen it, it was perfect. And everyone in Iowa went, and it was a big tornado out there this morning. They couldn't believe it.
Thanks for the good news.
Goodbye.
By the way, they had a thing on CNN this morning that in Iowa and Nebraska, weed grows naturally out there in those two states. If anybody's running out of here. If anybody's a Jamaican dealer has run low.
Yeah, man.
Iowa, Nebraska, get on a goddamn plane.
Beware of exploding balls.
Tonight, the Hysterical Channel presents I'll Bet You Didn't Know with Jack Perkins.
We're all familiar with the role of Michael Corleone played by Al Pacino in the Godfather movies. But I'll bet you didn't know it was originally cast for ex-Jets quarterback Joe Namath. Here's some rarely seen footage of Joe in the role of Michael Corleone.
In my home! In my home! Where my wife sleeps and my children
play. Needless to say, he didn't get the job. But join us anyway, tonight, on the Hysterical Channel for I'll Bet You Didn't Know.
12:14 at 5:06 at WQAM. Thanks so much to our friends over there at the Tony's for a great lunch today. And we apologize profusely for the Wolf camera spot playing back-to-back live and recorded. But that's just a little mistake on the log here today. One of many mistakes. It's only noon and already 462 mistakes, but who's counting?
Hi, we're the Wolf.
Yeah, one more time for the West Coast. I guess maybe the original of the live one wasn't long enough. You think that might have been it?
No.
God, if these spots get any longer, one thing about commercial copy in this place, you can't complain about it because basically we don't have any. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Not that our sales department's got any problems, you know what I'm saying? Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
What's up, my nigga Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't give money to those people on the intersections there, and it makes it a chore to stop at a red light. I mean, they're dodging in and out of cars.
Right.
And then it's crazy.
It's almost as bad as those idiots selling a goddamn newspaper on the street corners, for crying out loud. I mean, anybody that either doesn't subscribe to the paper or can't go to one of those coin boxes to get a newspaper in the morning, what is wrong with those people?
Exactly. Hey, did you read in Missouri that children, kindergarten to 5th grade, must say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am to their teachers?
No, Mississippi, not Missouri.
I'm sorry.
Close, M-I-S-S.
Yeah, I was on the first floor there. Now, let me ask you something. What happens to these children?
Electric
Hypothetically.
chair. Electric chair.
Electric chair. Hey, I know the Tom Green show, before he aired his...
Well, actually, what happens if they don't say yes, sir, or ma'am, they force them to stay in Mississippi the rest of their lives. A fate worse than death.
Right. The Tom Green show, before the 6 original episodes, there was a spring break special, and they were on a Ukrainian... It was MTV special. They were on a Ukrainian cruise ship. And the last night, in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, he goes to the doors of the captain and the next couple of people in command. What he has is a slice of bread and a 40-pound redfish, fresh. I mean, this thing is just fresh on like an icebox. A piece of lettuce, a tomato, and another piece of bread. And he's going around to these people that speak no English. He's got a camera in their face at 3 in the morning going, this is for you, thank you. And
he did a number with a guy, somebody in some sailor that couldn't speak English.
Yeah, it was like, you go away, security,
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely, the guy's funny.
He's hysterical, he's a panic.
Take it easy, Neil.
And have a great day, sir. God bless you. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
Well, I'll just touch on that quickly, the homeless thing. I mean, I had a psychology teacher in college, and she said, there was one thing that she said that will stick with me forever, was she said, a homeless person was talking to me and told me, you don't have to give me money, but I hate when they don't even, look at you. It's like they don't even acknowledge that I'm a person. She said, you can deny me money, but don't deny me my humanity. And I think that's true, so I always make sure I give them a little nod or, tip.
A little nod? How can you look them in the eye? How can you look them in the eye and not give them any money? That's the whole deal. And, of course, in Toronto, the homeless people, the way they get even with you, when you just ignore them, they say, have a nice night anyway, eh? As if to say, well, even though you're a cheap bastard, have a nice day anyway.
Well, I know you're from this area. I am? Well, no.
God forbid. Don't say that I'm from this area. That's the worst insult I ever had in my life, that I'm from this area.
I apologize.
Jesus, if I was from this area, I'd be going, like that.
I hear you, but are you familiar at all with the 79th Street exit? Put it that way.
Of course.
Okay. Well,
I used to work at IOD for 9 years. I don't know the 79th Street exit.
Well, that's north. All right. So what I'm saying is there's a guy out there who'll say, regardless of whether you give him money, thank you, God bless you, and say no to drugs. I mean, that's his shtick. He says it regardless. So, you know, I just feel like they're people too. But hey, I wanted to touch on something, Neil. I went to a casting call for a Fox show called Fox Family.
Yeah.
So they were looking for like Backstreet Boys type people, Spice Girl type and I'm like a white Jewish boy, you know. And I could pass for one of those characters, but like you should have seen, it was all like Julios and these. I mean, they were just real ugly. I was like, what the hell are you doing here? You know?
There's nothing worse than an ugly Julio, man.
Oh well, hey, you know, that's their thing.
Right in the middle of my lunch, this guy's talking about ugly Julios. God.
I don't know how they expect.
Just the thought of it has got the part of my pizza halfway back up my throat.
I mean, I went there, you know, and I'm not expecting anything, but at least I looked the part. You know, these people, they were like really, they weren't even Jennifer Lopez Juliet. They were like Juliet that you see on Cops or something. It was,
Greasy, greaseball.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Cheap hookers from Kendall.
I mean, not to sound.
Now listen, I saw Channel 4 News out there at Dayland on Friday. It wasn't a pretty sight, believe me.
That's what I'm talking. These people are there, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be stars, bro, and we're gonna be famous. I'm like, all right. I'm like, thank God I went to college, you know.
Okay, Zygazut, amigo.
Take care.
Bye. 567. We got 600 open lines here waiting on you. It's only 12:20. We got to go till 2 o'clock. We're going to make it today?
No.
I doubt it. Hank Goldberg from Shula's at 2. We got Donnie B talking baseball. We used to like Donnie B a lot till we found out that he sucked Chris Moore's on the ear one day, and then we started to hate him like poison. And then we got the Marlins and the Mets pregame at 6:30, 7:05 from PP Park. Weather permitting, they were saying on the morning show. You know what that means, don't you? That means it rains every day, and how come they're playing outside? As in, we need a new stadium. Let's forget about the homeless. Screw the homeless. Let's build a new stadium for poor John Henry. And let me say this to you again, okay? I understand I'm very confused about things like this in life, but if I got the kind of money that John Henry, this wealthy businessman who bought the Marlins, if I got that kind of money, why do I need the Marlins? If I got the kind of money that Baldy with his real bad zits, if I got the kind of money like a $1.6 billion he allegedly is worth now, why do I need a new shopping center across from the Sawgrass? Why do I need to boss everybody around with his goddamn crappy sports teams? What more do I need? You see what I'm saying? So some of you should feel better. Some of you who have no life, who are just a bunch of schleppers, that even people with tremendous amounts of money, they still must have no life. Because if I got $1.6 billion, am I going to be worrying about building a new shopping center?
No.
You bet your sweet ass I'm not. What do they want? What do they need? What kind of insatiable ego have assholes like this got that they got to buy ball clubs and build stadiums? Why don't we just build a big statue of these people, all of them, okay, right now, and then we can put an end to it and say goodbye to them. We'll have a place called Monument to Greed Park, okay? Ego Park. Yeah. Like MacArthur Park, we'll just call it Ego Park. And we'll have big, gigantic statues of all the people we want to get rid of, okay, like John Henry and Wayne Hypinga and all these other pains in the ass. People that got more than we'll also put what's her name on there too, your favorite who can't sing her out of a paper sack. You know, I can't Gloria Estefan. See, I had a mental block there for a second. Yeah, let's build her a statue too. And put her husband in there. Just a joke. Put her husband in there next to her and get them out of town. Gloria Estefan. See, one thing about Jennifer Lopez and Britney Spears, maybe they don't sing so great, but at least they look great, okay? Gloria Estefan, does she look great?
No.
Can she sing?
No.
Other than that, she's dynamite. Just ask her, she'll tell you. She's very important here, right? Yeah, just ask the Herald, they'll tell you. It's a very important family. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one. And I'll guarantee you, Ricky Martin, even though he's a pain in the ass, is a lot prettier than Gloria Estefan. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's the story with those two twins that were drafted yesterday?
The Sedin twins?
Yeah.
The story is they're extremely ugly. That's the story.
Oh, really?
They look like 13-year-old retards. They are.
So
Who ever heard of Swedes with red hair, by the way?
So
They're grotesque.
Other than the Suter brothers that were brothers, and these, has there been any other
Sure,
brothers?
the Ferraro brothers, there's all kinds of brothers. You better get with it, sir. In fact, I'll see you for lunch at Brothers in Pompano. These people that want to talk hockey draft, get with it. Stop blowing off the audience, okay? I'd rather talk Tom Green talk than hockey talk. It's the middle of June. It's the end of June. It's almost July, okay? Give us a little breather. Even a rabid fan like yours truly needs a breather. And by the way, the Leafs drafted an ugly kid, too. I just thought I'd mention that. That's all right. We're waiting for last year's draft pick, Nikolai on drop-off, that Russian kid. We're waiting for him to come in to do it and play some hockey, too. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Listen, on that note about fighting off the homeless people and all, a couple months ago I got off at I-95 at 62nd Street.
Yeah.
And I had this black guy dressed up like a priest.
A black guy?
He's trying to push the Farrakhan newspaper in my truck.
Oh, that goes on right out here on 441 and 199th. The guy was out there this morning with his goddamn zoot suit on.
Well, I tell you what, this will learn this lesson. I told him to take the paper out of the truck, and he wanted to argue with me, and I was on my cell phone, so I said, okay, stand by. I put the phone down, I shot the guy in the face with mace, and he backed up away from the truck, and I drove away.
All right.
So I don't think he'll be sticking it.
I don't think he's going to be sticking it in your puss again, and maybe not the paper either.
I doubt it.
Okay, good job, pal. Thank you. There you go. Get the hell out of people's faces, okay? You're going to get the mace in the face if you don't cut the crap, all right, with a rap. You know, I don't know about you, but when I'm in my car, they always say it's like this, like a second home. It's like next to your home, and for some people, it's a first home. Like, remember Johnny Depp? Before he forgot about it, but he got rich and famous and got laid a lot? Lived for a year in Hallandale in his car because he was destitute and out on the street and whatever else. So for some people, your car is your home. But nevertheless, this business of driving around the streets of your community or anywhere in America and having to be cornered by people accosting you with goddamn militant newspapers and with your regular, ordinary, crappy papers and with begging for money, this is bullcrap. Get them off the street. Right next to Ego Park, we can have Begging Park. That's one of the reasons we didn't want to go to the Miami Arena anymore to the goddamn hockey games, is because, and as much as I raised a lot of money for Camilo's house, that was to help people who were going on the inside to get them off the streets. Not so they could come congregating around the goddamn arena when you're on your way from the parking lot to the goddamn hockey game, giving you a song and a dance. If I want a song and a dance, I'll go over to Radio City Music Hall, okay, and see Judy Garland with Senior Wences. Oh, he's dead crap. God damn it, I missed that last show. He was good. It's all right? It's all right. 56705. He was no Tom Green, but here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I'm thinking.
What is it? Okay, call me back. Your mobile sucks. 567. We're having a bad problem with the phone connections today, and probably because there was a cloud in the sky, you know? Like, yeah, this weekend, the cable by me, Media One, you suck! Thank God for my satellite dishes. In fact, you know something? I wouldn't have seen Tom Green yesterday if I didn't have my little dish. If I didn't have my little one, I wouldn't have seen Tom Green and the dish, too. Because the cable, every time, it's not just rain, it wasn't raining, every time a crow flies over, or a goddamn cockatoo or whatever it is, the goddamn cable goes out. Media One, you bite the big one, you keep raising the goddamn rates, jacking it up. In the meantime, your service blows. Cable's out for 3 hours yesterday afternoon. I watch news or whatever it was. Turn it on again at night. It's gone. It's out. Media One, you blow. Just thought I'd mention that, okay, in case you don't know that. But that's the way it is when the politicians are really looking out for us and they grant these monopolies. And if you don't like it, too bad. That's why you need the small dish.
Oh, this pot's not good. It's great.
Well, I hope I don't seem crazy, and I hope that you won't mind that I bought you a brand new razor for the bush between your thighs. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but if you care at all about mine, then just try to trim a little off the side. Trim your cubic hair a little with the middle and the side. Not too small like the Hitler mustache, more like a triangle for pie. I appreciate it, you would shade it so I can raise it. I don't want to wear a toupee when I'm down between your legs, and it's smelling kinda gamey. You could use a wax or shave. I'm not trading
through the jungle, that forest of Brillo that you've got. 'Cause I feel like I'm having sex with ZZ Top. Alright. When your music hair a little in the middle at the top. Not too small like a Hitler mustache, or like a triangle for top. Every time we do it, after I chew it, I need a toothpick.
Call 32-560 WQAM 567-0560 pound 560 on the mobile one line. We're rolling along, singing a song, kind of a quiet song this afternoon. I think about another 15-20 minutes going to be real quiet, like kind of like coma, like sound of a coma. Here's a mobile in Vero Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
How was your weekend?
Well, it was okay. I was here, so it was real boring.
Well, mine was pretty good because Saturday night I went to that place, Root Chris.
Yeah.
Excellent, dude. Never been there. I just went because I heard a lot about it, plus you talked about it. Excellent. Ribeye was great.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as these homeless people, or anyways, on any given weekend, you can go to any intersection and there's these ball clubs and there's these Girl Scouts. Everybody's on every corner wanting your money.
That's in the daytime. It starts early in the morning. They got the car wash people and the ball club people and the Kiwanis people and
right.
a bunch of little punky kids that want to go to somewhere for the Vienna Boys Choir. And then as the day goes on, it kind of like segues from all of these groups. And as it gets a little darker out there, the complexion of the people gets a little bit darker.
I know.
And it's the homeless.
It's unbelievable. I've never seen it. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, you never saw anybody on the street corner. And now it's like, I guess it's a business now. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
That's the American fucking way.
Yeah, they have franchises for sale. In fact, I may be getting a good one after this show today.
Well, thank you, sir. And in closing, Wayne, you're a douchebag.
Okay, and say hi to our good friends. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the waiter, by the way. Speaking of Roots Chris, 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. 2 calls left on the board, and then let's see, what kind of music can we play? Backstreet Boys, Millennium, number 1 for the 4 weeks on the chart, number 1 in the universe.
Oh!
Just thought I would mention that for some of the smarty pants that don't know their music. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
Listen to this one. Up in New York, where I used to live, there used to be this guy who panhandled.
Yeah.
Come around 5 o'clock, you'd see him leave and hop over the bridge. You get into a brand new Ford Explorer. How do you like that one?
Well, how do you think he got it?
Yeah, what do you say? You know,
Those
unbelievable.
payments are tough, man.
Crazy.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Okay, here's our last call of the day, mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
Whenever somebody comes up to me in the street and asks for money, I just look them in the eye and say no. One time I was in the drive-thru at the Burger King, and there was an elderly man in a wheelchair with one leg missing, and the leg wasn't under the wheelchair. I could see the stub. So he was panhandling through the line. I figured, geez, let me get this guy something to eat. So I get the guy a sandwich and some orange juice, whatever, and I'm like waving it out the window to him, and he's kind of either he doesn't hear me or he's ignoring me. So I drive out, park in the parking lot, get out of the car, go over. Here's some food, sir. What's this? I don't want this. I said, it's food. Don't you want anything to eat? He says, I don't eat that crap. Give it to some kid.
All right. Excellent.
Just say no, that's all.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Okay, I don't see an awful lot of sympathy in this audience for those poor destitute slobs out there. I mean, those wonderful people who are down and out on their luck who bought those franchises. How the hell are they, whoever's selling the franchises, how they're going to stay in business unless we start subsidizing them a little bit better than this? No sympathy, no empathy, no Rachmanis. Here's a mobile in Miami, our last call of the day. Hello.
Hello, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
I don't feel for the homeless people. This guy in a wheelchair, he pedals along every day for money, and then you turn around and this guy's over buying drugs with your money.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it. But anyway, now I like that.
Expensive habit, man. Expensive. You got to keep it up somehow.
Yeah, you don't have any arena. You can't even get in before you can get out of the car. They're begging you for money.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, I like you said, and I like that record song. Thank you.
Okay, whatever you say, whatever he said. Anybody have any idea what he said?
No.
No. Bad mobiles today. It's just a bad technical day all the way around, and the day is over. And you notice that somebody just left, and now we're out of calls. I don't want you to feel bad about it, George. Don't take it personal. JP just left. Every call on the board is dead. First time in about 2 weeks we've had this. That's okay. Wait till you hear some of the great music we've got all queued up for you.
Dear Dad, I just finished my first week of boot camp. It's tougher than I ever imagined. But Sarge says that's what it takes to be a good soldier. Today I learned about the Army's new don't ask, don't tell policy about homosexuals. Sarge asked me to bend over.
Drop down, private!
I asked why.
Don't ask and don't tell!
Talk about a dishonorable discharge.
1241 at 560 WQAM. I'll tell you, we got a lively bunch today. We've got about 4, 5, 6 calls on there just before the break, and then everybody but one all went away, you know? I realize it's Monday. I realize you got a really tough, busy schedule today. I realize there's a real hectic, active, whatever it is. But that's the way it goes, man. They just don't have time for us. It's not like the old days anymore. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's Davey. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
You keep fading in and out. The commercials will be dying.
Well, maybe our phone thing is all screwed up today. Wouldn't surprise me. Over the weekend, we have all kinds of mysterious things that go on.
Yeah, just the two commercials kept going in and out, in and out.
Really?
Anyway, just the homeless people story. I have two of them for you. We were coming back from a soccer game, and we stopped off at this Pizza Hut. We had an extra pizza left over.
Mm-hmm.
We were at Palm Beach, so we stopped, and there's this handler there, and we offered him the pizza. He said, no, I don't want the pizza. He says, I want money. He said, I get plenty of food. I'm looking for money over here.
Right, booze and drugs, baby. You can't buy it with pizzas.
Unbelievable. And right to the baby visit.
Okay, listen, thanks for the call. Okay, that was our last call today because obviously our phone, all the mobile sound garbled, and the phone is cutting in and out. We got no calls anyway, so let's enjoy lunch.
My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady.
Excuse me. Can I have the attention of the class for 1 second?
My name is Slim Shady.
Hi, kids. Do you like Primus? Want to see me stick 9 inch nails through each one of my eyelids? Copy me and do exactly like I did? Try sit and get messed up worse than my life is? Brain's dead weight trying to get my head straight. Can't figure out which Spice Girl I want to impregnate. Dre said,
Shady, you a base head. Why's your face red? You wasted.
Well, since age 12, I felt like a caged elf who said to himself on the shelf, chasing his tail. Got ticked off and ripped Pamel's lips off. Kissed him and said, I ain't no silicone was this soft. About to pass out and crash, fall in the grass. Faster than the fat man who sat down too fast. Call me a lady.
Yo, that's my girl, dog.
I don't give a damn. Dre sent me to kick off the world.
My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady.
My English teacher wanted to flunk me in junior high. Thanks a lot. Next semester I'll be 35. Smacked him in his face and then he raged or chased him with a stapler. Told him to change the grade on the paper. Walked in the strip club, my jacket zipped up. Served the bartender, walked out with a tip cup. Extraterrestrial, running over pedestrians. Spaceship screaming, let's be friends. 99% of my life I was lied to. Found out my mom does more dope than I do. Told her I'd grow up to be a real famous rapper, make a record by doing drugs and name it right after her. You know you blew up when the women rush your stands. Try to touch your hands like some screaming Usher fans. This guy at White Castle has my autograph.
Can I get your
So
autograph?
I signed it. Dear Dave, thanks for the support, asshole.
My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady.
Stop the tape. This kid needs to be locked away. Dr. Dre, don't stand there and operate. I'm not ready to leave. I'm too scared to die. Be carried inside the cemetery and buried alive. Am I coming or going? I can barely decide. Drag a fifth of Kool-Aid. Dare me to drive? All my life I was very deprived. Ain't had a woman in years. My palms are too hairy to hide. Clothes ripped off like the Incredible Hulk. I spit when I talk. I'll do any bitch that walks. When I was little, I used to just throw fits. How you gonna breastfeed me, Mom? You ain't got no tits. Lay awake and share myself in the bed. Bulletproof vest and tap myself in the head. I'm steaming mad. And by the way, when you see my dad, ask him before a portal mag and see my ass.
My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is who? My name is Slim Shady. My name is what? My name is Slim Shady.
My anus
My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus.
Hi, kids. Y'all like cutting little stinkers? That funny little sound that comes right out your sphincter? Want to copy me and do exactly like I do? Get paid for writing little songs about poo-poo? My brain's all gone. I'm trying to get my groove on, but I can't figure out which Spice Girl I'm gonna fart on. And Dr. Dre asked, yo, man, you pass gas? Hell no! Why do I smell ass? Man, you low class. Well, since age 12, it seemed like I always smelled. I thought ripping gases and tooting was pretty swell. I got pissed off when I took my jeans off and farted so hard it turned my underwear backwards like crisscross. And every night I'm like, oh, dinner at last. Then fun out my ass faster than a fat bitch who ate too fast. Smell this, honey. Yo, dude, wait a minute, that's my girl, cuz. I don't give a fuck. God sent me to stink the world up. My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus. My English teacher wanted me kicked out back in junior high. Said the problem was something crawled up my ass and died. I shot him in the face with my vapor. The worst happened later when I covered his desk with used toilet paper. Walked in the strip club, my intestines were filled up. Mooned the bartender, took a dump in a tip cup. Went over to a dancer, had her fucking a garter. She lifted her leg up, and I knew she was a farter. 99% of my life I was lied to. I just found out my mom got more gas than I do. I told her I'd grow up to be a famous rapper, make a record about strange noises made on the crapper. You know you was dirt when the women rushed to leave. You tried to hold it back, but your butt needed relief. This guy at White Castle said it was pretty cool, but I had to go drop the kids off at the pool. My anus, 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 my anus.
Yeah, that's how I feel right now. I'll tell you, we got off to a pretty decent start today. We've had 2 smoking, sizzling weeks for the middle of the summer. That's what happens when you start taking things for granted. You know what I'm saying? You start getting a little bit too cocky. You assume there might be a few people in town, which I know they aren't. And I'm sitting here now dead as a doornail. Dead as a doornail. So we can either play Ricky Martin records for the next hour and 11 minutes, which is fine with me. Love that Ricky Martin, you know. Or we can maybe get a couple of calls on here, but I doubt it. 567-0560. Pound 560 on a mobile one line. We've had a full plate today, baby. And you know, it's astonishing to me. I must be the only person. I must be living in some kind of an igloo somewhere, in a cocoon. This thing with the cops and the underage hookers, nobody cares about that. The newspapers don't care about it. The TV, they had it on there for a couple of days. That's the end of that story. Like, no big deal. The fact that these people have been destroying people's lives for years who pick up hookers and, on Biscayne Boulevard and Federal Highway or any other goddamn place and plaster their, and also the newspapers, of course, going right along, putting the names and the addresses in the goddamn newspaper and destroying people's lives and their careers and every other goddamn thing. That's great. And like I said before, you know as well as I do that somebody somewhere knows the names of all these other cops who are coming and going and going and coming and coming and coming. These, down there in Kendall and wherever else this was going on. But the only thing we get in the paper over the weekend, cop charged in pimpering a nice guy. He's okay. He's not a bad guy, this Greg Priest. Something really stinks with this story. Here's Oakland Park. Hello.
Neil, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, sir.
Hey, Levi going to win those 20 games this year?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Hey, listen, when I work for a temp service over in by Commercial 95, and I always see those beggars out on the corners. So I just have a stack of cards there. I go, you want to work? Here's a card. Show up for work in the morning.
Right.
I've yet to see one show up here.
How do you like that?
Can you believe it?
I believe it.
Okay, you're the man, Neil.
Okay, thanks. How do you like that? Well, there's living proof right there. I'm not going to say because I have full compassion for people who are really homeless, but this thing has become a scam. It's like everything else in America. It's like all those phony ads you see on TV, how to get rich quick, like that Carlton Sheets, who's full of whatever his name is, full of sheet. You ever see that? How to get rich in real estate? You ever saw that infomercial? Oh, my God. And they send you, yeah, I sent away for it a couple of years ago. I'll admit to being a sucker. I sent away for the juicer, the juicy man there with that guy who's 25 but looks 110. He's really only 25. First day I used it, it broke. It's in the broom closet somewhere. Along with the videotape and all the phony propaganda from Carlton Sheets about how you're going to get rich in real estate. It's a pile of all of that stuff. Here's Miami. Hello.
Maricon.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you finally came up with some good material. Here's Hialeah. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, man?
Okay, sir.
All right, that's great. Hey, listen, I was just wondering, how do you feel about Gord Murphy being traded for Trump?
567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. We're not doing hockey talk, okay? We'll give you Jeff Rimmer's home phone number, okay? We're not doing hockey talk here on the 28th of June. I feel like I'm relieved the season is finally over. I feel disgusted that Gary Bettman is destroying the greatest sport in the world, and he's doing it totally unmolested, unimpeded, unhindered by anybody else, butchering the game that I love. That's how I feel, okay, sir? Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Great. Doing great.
Yeah, I got my nephew here. I'm working with my nephew.
Yeah.
And he's in the gifted program. I want the number to those police officers so I can get him one of those hookers, those underage hookers. I'm trying to corrupt them a little. Show them the reality of life.
Okay, well, just call up Miami Beach Police. They'll help you out. Or Miami Police or Hialeah Police. Evidently, all the departments in Dade. Just call anyone in the phone book, okay? They all know where to go. They all know what the directions are. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir?
Neil?
Yes, I am.
You're the greatest.
Yes, I am.
Listen, 2 weeks ago, you did a thing about the Bible and all these things. There's some guy in Michigan or Wisconsin or somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get the address again. I've been waiting to put it on.
Okay, hold on. Give them the address or not, as the case may be, depending on what mood you're in at this point, okay? Freedom from Religion Foundation, Madison, Wisconsin. Maybe if George is in a real generous mood, he'll give you the address or the website or something like that. I want people on the phone who want to have a verbal intercourse, okay, with Neil Rogers. That's what I want right now. Not people who want phone numbers for some goddamn godless organization in Madison, Wisconsin. Not people who want to tell me some story from 4 weeks ago or that President Lincoln's got a bad headache or some real old boring news that we heard or ask me some stupid hockey crap about stuff that nobody in this audience cares about. Thank God for the Tom Green Show. You know what? Because if it weren't for seeing those 2 episodes of the Tom Green Show on MTV yesterday between 1 and 2 o'clock, I'd really be in a surly mood. Because I made a bad judgment. I stayed here this weekend, and believe me, when you stay here over the weekend, oh my God. You sit there and you not only think about watching paint dry, you actually watch it. You sniff it, you watch it, and the paint too. God almighty. Oh, yeah, but we got all these golf courses. Yeah, that's right. I rest my case. See, I learned something very interesting a couple of weeks ago on the show, and that is unless you play golf, or at the very least watch golf on TV, and unless you have a serious gambling problem, unless you have hopefully both of the above, you're not crap, okay? You can't be a real man in South Florida. Unless you have a real serious compulsive gambling problem. Like, you know, most of the people who listen the other 20 hours on this radio station. Listen, what are your thoughts on that Oneonta State Wichita game? Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing today?
Okay, sir.
That's good.
I was doing magnificent until about 20 minutes ago. Now I feel like blowing my brains out, or maybe somebody else's.
It's a tough market. Anyways, I was just saying also with these panhandlers going around town, I used to work at a pet store at the swap shop about 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And we'd be getting into work about 5:30, 6 a.m., and you'd see them all scraggling, either coming down from whatever they're on or whatever. And we'd offer them, we got a whole truckload of wrought iron cages, unskilled labor. We'll pay you $70 for 4 or 5 hours worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
Guy told me he could do that between like 8 and 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
So he would pass up our offer.
There you go.
So I mean, it's incredible.
Like I said, I'm getting me a franchise myself. I'm going to do the 1 to 2 hour out there on the street corner. I'm going out there. I'm going to knock this Farrakhan guy out of here that's peddling his newspapers on the corner. I'm knocking his ass off that corner. I'm taking over between 1 and 2 today.
That's great, Neil. All right, that's all my material.
And have a great day.
You're the best, Neil. I
have a great day.
Every day.
Okay, say hi to Preston 10.
Thank you.
Okay. At the swap shop. Don't get me started on the goddamn swap shop, okay? And Preston and his hen and that Sheriff Nick, that they won $1 million in Vegas. Like I said before, if you believed in God and you saw that happen and you still believe in God, then you need serious psychological help, okay? Because if God was paying any attention, which he usually is looking in the wrong place, okay? He's usually watching over some horse race or golf tournament or some ball game. But if he were paying any... Oh, and by the way, speaking of ball games, because I noticed there's a big thing again. They're trying to like rehab Lawrence Phillips' image. What a great guy he was and never stole a freight train or killed anybody but close. Yeah, during my channel surfing yesterday, I'm coming across this World League of, whatever they call it, the European National Football League, whatever they're calling that crap over there. Barcelona is playing Amsterdam. And by the way, Lawrence was really pissed off because the team from Amsterdam didn't bring the good stuff. They left it behind. But at any rate, so they're making a big deal out of this, and they're putting it there on TV because they got nothing else to fill the time, and it must be in the NFL contract. They got to put that crap on there. And they kept showing these low shots, you know, and I kept wondering how come we don't see, like, even the lower part of the stands. Finally, somebody must have slipped. There weren't 2,000. It made the Marlin games look crowded by comparison. That's what kind of a crowd they had. That's how much interest there is in Europe for the goddamn National Football League. But just keep hyping and making it up and starting more and more leagues and women's soccer and the WNBA in Miami. That's going to go over great, yeah. Bull Dyke basketball, going to go over gigantic. 12:57 at 560 WQAM. You want to calm down? You know, I'm getting a little bit hyper myself. I could use one of those Perdomo Reserves or maybe one of those Cuban bullets in my mouth right now. Those are pretty damn good, you know what?
It's not just the 1 to 2 hour. It's a phenomenon.
Tonight on Fox, from the people who brought you When Animals Get Feisty and World's Scariest Overeating Episodes, it's a series even more horrible and graphic.
Okay, Timmy, time for night-night. But, Mommy, I'm not tired.
When kids won't go to bed. When kids won't go to bed shows you all the kicking. When kids won't go to bed, takes you behind the bedroom walls to witness all the crying.
Look, Timmy, Tigger wants to go to bed with you. I don't want it. I hate you.
And when kids won't go to bed, there's lots of bargaining, too.
Just 5 more minutes.
Okay. Tonight, right after World's Most Gratuitous Violence, only on Fox.
It's a minute after 1 at 560 WQM. Hank Goldberg will be here too, or sooner if he wants. If Hank wants to come on early, if he's over there at Chulas already, we'll be glad to give him 30, 40, 55 minutes of this show today. I mean, nothing personal, but, And then, of course, at 6 o'clock, we got Talking Baseball with Donnie B., who thinks that Christina Moore is a genius. And then we got the pregame at 6:30, the Marlins and the Mets. Any interest besides the Mets fans in that game tonight? The 4-game series, they won 2 in a row.
No.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil. Guy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I got 2 great panhandlers of the year for you. I've got my Jamaican buddy down on 57th Avenue, the Palmetto. I give him about a joint or 2 every time I see him.
Yeah, man.
He takes it right up and never asks any questions.
He takes it right up to what?
Well,
oh, no, yeah.
And then we've got a guy named Bob, he fluctuates. He's either on commercial and 95. He has a sign, and he doesn't bull crap anybody. He says, "Why lie? I want a beer."
There you go.
And that's my kind of guy.
Right.
Hey, nothing about
lay it right out there in the line. Don't BS the public. Tell them you want a guy. You're thirsty. It's 100 degrees in the shade.
That's why usually when I see guys and they're lying on the sign, I say, "Do you want a beer?" And if they tell me, I'll throw them a buck or 2.
Yeah.
Never hurt.
Well, some of those handicapped guys, the ones that have the sign, I'd give my left leg for a beer or something like that. And then you look down and you say, "Oh, Jesus, I wonder if they got the beer."
That's it. I have a shameless request.
Yes, sir.
And I have hard decks followed by George's bong hit.
Okay.
Thank you.
At least half of the above. Have a great day, sir. Now they want bong hits. You see, you've got them conditioned all this crap, okay?
Jimmy Carter's looking for a
mirror. Get out of here. It's on the wrong thing there, okay? It's on 4, is it? It wasn't even worth it. 56705.
Thing.
It is?
Yeah.
But it's more. This killed more time. See, you better learn from a master, okay? That killed an extra 20 seconds doing that, and it made me look like vulnerable and inept, which today I have been all day, by the way. Of course, now that what's-his-name is gone. 567-0560. How soon they forget. How soon they forget. Here's a lady in North Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Neil. I'm here new from St. Louis for the past 2 weeks.
Well, I'm so sorry.
I know.
I apologize.
I love your show.
Of course. It's the only thing going here, by the way, is this show. The rest of this town
not
sucks.
true.
It is.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
won't find any life in this town. If you like colostomy bags, you came to the right place.
Well, I had good experiences with panhandlers in St. Louis.
Really?
Yeah, I gave a guy a bunch of coats out of my trunk one time. I didn't have any money. He was real appreciative. Another time I was at the gas station and the guy said, "Can I pump your gas? Can I wash your windshield? Can I do anything?" I'm like, no, here you go, bud. Get something to eat.
Yeah.
No big deal. But as a new person in South Florida and a single woman, I mean, what would you recommend? I'm a bleeding heart liberal, okay?
What would I recommend for what?
Should I, give these guys anything or should I run away?
No. Run like a son of a bitch. This ain't St. Louis, sweetheart.
I know it's not.
This is Miami.
Okay. I will take your advice.
Trust me, I don't want to sound callous and indifferent, but I'm callous and indifferent at this point.
Okay, well, thanks for the advice, Neil.
Okay, good luck, sweetheart. Don't unpack too soon.
Okay.
Okay, you'll hate it. But while she's from St. Louis, you might actually like it. What a horrible place. Oh, God. See, when it's hot in St. Louis, man, you can't even breathe. It's like that real high humidity that makes it seem like mild here by comparison. But at least they got the good panhandlers in St. Louis. Oh! 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, that was so. You notice how he had to work that up from his colostomy bag or wherever it came from his
rectum.
Yeah, that was very good. I like that. I'm glad that I gave you the extra time to work that up from deep down in your bowels, sir. Okay, that was.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, on a scale of 2, I give you about a minus 400. 56705. I'm going to play Ricky Martin music. I'm telling you right now. You guys, you run dry. You got nothing. I threw out 6,000 different things here today. Forget it. Hopeless. Here's Miami Lakes. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Thank God I stumbled across Tom Green yesterday. That killed an hour. Yes, sir.
You had me laughing like crazy earlier when you were talking about these on television, the people that sell these products.
Yeah.
To try to get you rich like Carl.
All crap. It's all crap, and I'm as big of a sucker as anybody. I got a closet full of crap.
There's one person, I don't know if you've seen him. He's a young guy. They constantly have a close-up of his face, and his gig is trying to get rich off of personal ads in the newspaper.
Oh, yeah, right.
I had a friend of mine that tried to do that. Didn't make a dime.
Right.
Dime he didn't make.
Well, how do you think this guy really got rich? He got rich off suckers like your friend that sent in for his crap.
Right.
If these people really got rich from selling real estate, from putting ads in the paper, they wouldn't be on there on these infomercials trying to peddle you a bill of goods.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, last but not least, I would like to have a request. I think you're going to give me the request because I look a little bit like your favorite guy, Malcolm.
Yeah.
On your favorite.
Yeah, sure. That's what they always say. Probably look more like Malcolm X.
No, absolutely not. The one you haven't played this one in a while. It's Frank Sinatra. I'll knock the crap out of you.
All right, excellent choice, sir.
Sure, thanks.
Have a great day. That's good. What's that called? I'll kick the crap.
Sinatra.
No, I got it. Just because it's your first day back, don't start acting so butch and macho.
I don't know if it's for real or what.
Yeah, it starts out like that. If it's for real or what?
If you really forgot or if you're just killing time.
I'm doing
today,
both. Today, I'm out of it. I'm out of it. Bad move. I apologize to myself profusely. I can't even say it. Oh, man. What's going on here? When are the good drugs coming in, goddammit? Jesus Christ. Boy. 5670560, pound 560. Well, I'll be honest with you, okay? It's the middle of the goddamn summer. There's nobody in town. We don't want to be here. We're pissed off, and you're probably all pissed off. And you know who else I'm pissed off is this goddamn John Penis. I am so sick and tired of covering this guy's,
rectum.
Man. And what a pussy he was, too. He's sitting in there Thursday or Friday when I had my blood drawn for that allergy test, which supposedly we're getting the results tomorrow. I think they're going to find out I'm allergic to him. This man, he wouldn't give you a new piece of copy if he held a goddamn gun to his
rectum.
Come on, Penis, let's get with it. Christ, this guy, and just because Todd Reck is away on jury duty today, that makes Penis public enemy number 1 in the building today. Haven't even seen his ass. I mean, this guy see, it's one thing I made the fatal error when I came on the air about 3 months ago and I said, like Geldy taught me the lesson about,
I don't give a shit anymore.
That was the worst mistake you could ever say in this place. Because even when you say you do give a crap, then, maybe you can squeeze a little something out of them. But as soon as you say,
I don't give a shit anymore,
then you're finished. There is no chance they're going to service their clients, they're going to get you any copy, they're going to do any of these things that are a part of the broadcasting business. No chance. And so as a result, I'm sitting here like, And I remember when I first came here and I wondered, how come these other guys that work here, they put all their live spots on tape? Remember that? Now I understand. I want to apologize to Hank and Joe and Beefo and all the other guys. Because when they expect you to keep doing the same thing and they give you stuff that's 4 months old, who the hell would want to keep doing that every day? Oh my God, John Penis, you're killing me, man. You're destroying me. You're butchering me. You're killing. I'm going to have him taken off of this show. Then he'll have to go out and find out what real selling is all about. Maybe he can sell some Marlin spots, but I doubt it. Are you selling your home or looking to buy? Yeah, there you go. Let's play some goddamn tapes. It's frickin' John Penis.
People are assholes.
That wacky Iraqi Hussein used poison gas on his own people's ass and kept dropping bombs on the Jews. Boy, sodomite, kick the out of you. That bald chick who ripped up the phone, if I do recall, her head looks like a cue ball. I guess she don't need no shampoo. Sinead, I kick the shit out of you. To the guy who's messing with my ex, I crack your head like an egg, or I might break a leg. Yeah, if Mia would give me the cue, Woody, I'd kick the shit out of you. So Dave Koresh thinks he's Christ. I'd eat him up like a cat chokes down my say he ain't no king of the Jews. Boy, I'd kick the out of you. What's with this guy, Ross Barone? He looks like a mouse ear. Even has Dumbo's ears. Let's seal his mouth shut with some glue. You can't keep me quiet. Baby, I kick the oh yeah, I kick the I said I kick the out of you. Stop faxing me stuff that's old and I already know about it. Stories about this guy in the NHL and the minor league. Oh, stop already. Stop wasting our fax paper. How many people, how many trees had to be chopped down to make the paper that you're wasting and wasting and wasting with these old, tired stories like the guy that called before about Abe Lincoln had a headache? So Barton West Palm faxes. A man flops down on a subway seat next to a priest. The man's, what is that? See again, you can't read the whole damn thing because he's got it chopped off on the end. There's nothing worse than what's chopped off on the end. The man's is stained. Well, that opens up all kinds of possibilities. His face is smeared with red lipstick and a half-empty bottle of gin is sticking out of his coat pocket. He opens a newspaper and begins reading. After a few minutes, the guy turns to the priest and asks, "Say, Father, what causes arthritis?" "Loose living, cheap, wicked women, and too much alcohol, and contempt for your fellow man." "I'll be damned," the drunk mutters, returning to his paper. The priest, thinking about what he said, nudges the man and apologizes. "I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to be so harsh. How long have you had arthritis?" "Oh, I don't have it, Father," he says. "It says here in the paper that the Pope does." Oh! Oh, there you go. Nice going, Bart, in West Palm. Excellent reading, too, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, God.
That's okay. 567-0560, pound 560. Oh, so anyway, speaking of, since I'm going to get myself worked up again here, which I shouldn't do, with John Penis and his sales department. So it just so happens this morning that I'm going out to take a leak, and I come back in around here before the show, and who do I bump into in the hall? One of our 48 sales managers, Ray Perry. How do you like that? Yeah. Who I haven't seen in months. And he says, now he says to me something like you would say to a relative that you haven't seen in about 3 or 4 years, "How you been?" Do you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing you'd say to somebody you haven't seen in like 7 or 8 years. Oh, Joe, how you been? I said, great. And he just sauntered right out the door, off into Never Never Land, never to be seen again. Is this the same Ray Perry that came to us downstairs, meaning downstairs had to be like in January or February, when he became the 84th sales manager on a staff here and gave me a big song and a dance and a dog and pony show? Is that the same Ray Perry?
Uh-huh.
Oh, and he's going to be in every Tuesday morning, and we're going to take care of this copy, and we're going to get these salespeople straightened out, and yada, yada. Is that the same Ray Perry?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Since we moved up into the studio on the 3rd floor up here, which is back in March sometime, I have seen him before today one other time. That's the day he brought the Marlins tickets in here before the beginning of the season, which was before April 1st because that was the opening day of the season. So it had to be right around the end of March. This is only the 28th of June. Oh! This is our superior sales manager that somewhere along the line is supposed to be involved in this program and the people selling spots on this program. Isn't he, don't we think?
Uh-huh.
I just mentioned that in passing. How is it possible? How is it possible? And then you wonder why Greg Reed is so paranoid when he reads about this phantom station that's going on here on 1700 that nobody can pick up on the radio, and he's still peeing in his pants and running around, oh, lawsuit, yeah, like stuff like that. This is one of the great wonders of the world, this place. It's a miracle that we can like even get the door open in the morning.
I don't give a shit anymore.
Of course, George came back from vacation and couldn't get the door open this morning, but that's beside the point. 10 minutes to get into work. We were trying to send a message there, but he didn't get it. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello. That's why what's his name at home. Mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I heard some news that you'd probably be good with.
That I'll probably be good with?
Yeah, about the cop in the prostitution ring.
Yeah.
I hear some of your buddies with the Miami Shores Police are implicated in it, too.
I have buddies in the Miami Shores Police?
Yeah.
You mean the ones that used to hang out there by the Denny's or whatever that was, the Howard Johnsons?
Especially the one with the shaved legs.
The one with the shaved nuts?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Yeah, Miami Shores Police. Remember they used to wait there with the speed traps and then wave to me on the way by? I'd forgotten all about that. Thank you for... Hey, listen, I understand there isn't a police force in Dade County that don't have maybe at least 20 or 30 guys on the list screwing around with these minors down there. But like I said before, it wouldn't be nearly so bad if it weren't for this hypocritical thing. You know, Bubba up there in Washington, he gets, he's messing around with his bimbo, but at least she was 21 or 2 at the time. Here's a 16-year-old girl, and not only are they screwing around with her, but they're also setting her up in business. Well, at least they're going to make sure she don't go hungry anyway, so to speak. Yeah, her mouth is always full. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Like around here, we got a lot of people, their mouth is always full. Crap. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello. Mobile in Kendall. Yes, sir.
How are you?
Great.
First, let me apologize for not switching this damn phone from digital to analog. It sounds like crap.
No, it sounds fine now. Oh, on your end. Well, we don't care about that.
Yeah.
Sounds good on this end.
I've got 2 things on my plate. The first, I have a small satellite dish.
Yeah.
It's the Prime Star. And every time it gets cloudy outside or it rains, the signal breaks up and goes away.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you?
Now with DirecTV, I mean, maybe 3, 4 or 5 times a year it might happen for a couple minutes here, a minute or 2 there, but generally speaking, no problem with the RCA with DirecTV.
DirecTV bought Prime Star, so maybe I guess things will change.
Well, but that's not going to change the hardware you got, though. It's not.
Well, they're going to come in and change it.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Boy, you're lucky.
It's like
I've had very little trouble. Very little trouble with the small dish. Now the cable, on the other hand, like including this weekend, like I said before, Media One. Every time a pigeon flies over the acres, the cable goes out for at least 2 hours.
I've got cable and the dish, just figuring that if I didn't do both, I'm going to get screwed one side or the other because nobody really gives a crap.
Right.
And
well, you got good news anyway. DirecTV is excellent.
Yeah, sitting and watching pay-per-view yesterday, and all of a sudden, 5 minutes in, I hear a thunder crack, and then the signal breaks.
And you're paying for it.
Right. Well, I called them today, and they told me that when I get billed, I can call them, and they'll go ahead and credit it. But
of course, if you called the cable company and said that we lost the cable for hours this weekend, they'd say, "Oh, sorry, I can't do that."
Right. They probably have some fine print in the original contract that wipes you. The other thing is, years and years ago, back on 940. You used to play something that you then couldn't play when you moved along, and that was Walk with an Erection. Can you play that or no?
Don't have it.
Oh,
I can play it, but I don't have it.
Oh, rip. There was a whole series of really good ones that came during that period, no pun intended.
Right.
just haven't heard in a long time. And a lot of these other things that people are asking for, it's like really
ponderous,
beyond ponderous.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you just hear the same crap.
Over and over. Well, if I left it up to the audience, I'd have been out of business a long time ago. You know.
I hear you.
Okay, have a great day, sir.
Never change, pal.
Okay.
Bye.
God bless you. I'm not changing. I'm too old, okay, to change my goddamn spots. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Let me say it again. Hey, Ray Perry, if you're listening, how you been, Ray? How's life been treating you, huh? Since we saw you last about 200 years ago, before Methuselah was a goddamn infant, huh? What a joke, man. I'm going to tell you, it's just so unbelievable. And I see I'm getting started back on it again. That's very bad. How can I be regressing like this? This is very bad. I've been doing so great since I said...
I don't give a shit anymore.
Since Geldy showed me the light and the way and the truth. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami. 18 minutes, 24 seconds later, and they're gone. Oh, my God. What a great investment of 20 minutes that was. Nice going, sir. By the way, he's back to his street corner now. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. They're reaching. They're stretching. They can't get it. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Former Catholic here. God bless you. Exactly.
You're welcome.
Neil, outside of Las Vegas, what domestic cities do you like?
What does that mean?
Well, I'm going to Chicago in 2 weeks. Haven't been there.
Great city.
Great city. Lots to do. Nothing like down here, huh?
No. There's more to do in Chicago in 5 minutes than there is to do here in 10 years.
Okay, outside of Chicago. Now, talk to me. I'm going on vacation in December. Where should I go?
What does that mean? You're going on vacation in December. Where should you go? How do I know where you should go? I mean, don't you have a life? Where I want to go doesn't mean that's where you're going to want to go.
Well, exactly. I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Europe. I really haven't traveled in the U.S., and I'm looking for something a little different.
You in the U.S.?
Yes.
Vegas and that's it, in Chicago.
Vegas and Chicago, that's
the only place in the U.S. you'd ever want to dream of going to. Especially in December. In December, you're going to want to travel in the U.S.?
Unfortunately.
Well, how about Clearwater? That sounds good. It might be warm there, but I doubt it. It might be kind of chilly, to be honest. I mean, forget about going to the U.S. How about, I don't know.
Somewhere where the average age is under 80.
Yeah.
So that eliminates this thing.
Okay, good luck, pal. Get that life manual out, okay? And, Neil, we're going to Vegas. Is there any good restaurants there? Is there a place we can get a good hamburger real quick in between losing our ass? Oh, geez, you see what being here so long does to all these poor people? I mean, this guy sounds like a reasonable guy, but he's lifeless at this point. Yeah. In fact, he lives in Plantation. If you want to find where his house is, all you got to do is drive around for a few minutes and just look for the house that's got the big sign painted on the side that says,
I have no life.
That's him. I feel bad for him because the guy, till he came here, he was okay. He's in search of life like so many people in this godforsaken place, especially at this time of the year. How can an area, a metropolitan area of 4 million people, still be a seasonal town? Like Bum Fork, North Dakota. How can this be a seasonal town with 4 million people allegedly living here? Does that tell you what you need to know about it?
Uh-huh.
Oh. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the hardware store on the way home. I am. And I'm going to get a gallon of paint. And I'm going to mix it all up. And then I'm going to get a piece of cardboard out from the garage. And I'm going to paint it. And I'm going to sit around the rest of the week watching paint dry. What are you laughing about? And sniff it a little bit. Not too close. All you kids out there, don't be sniffing paint or glue or stuff like that. At least not from close range. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some funky color, not just the ordinary like white or, like some glossy sheen, some sheeny gloss. Like maybe from the Sheeny Alps. 127 at 560 WQAM. Even George's allergies acting up again. He's sneezing up a storm. I'm telling you, it's this place.
Oh!
It's here.
I don't give a rat's ass about him.
I saw Jesus on the boulevard. I saw him on my pop-up toaster in the seat of my car. All my friends think I'm nuts down at the redneck bar. Oh, I saw Jesus on the stick of Oliver. I saw him in my shaving cream, so I left it on my face. When I went to work, I looked like a jerk, and I was fired in the spring. Driving home, I was all alone, thinking someone's playing tricks on me. But in the rearview mirror, I could see Jesus staring gas-free. I saw Jesus on the neck of Oliver. Oh! I saw him on my pop-up toaster and the seat in my car. All my friends think I'm nuts down in the redneck bar. Oh, I saw Jesus on the stick of Oliver. Yes, I saw Jesus on the stick of Oliver. I saw him on the side of a taco and the hubcap on my car. I saw him in a bowl of spaghetti in the side of the smucker's jar. Yes, I saw Jesus on the stick of Oliver. Everybody, I saw Jesus on the stick of Oliver. I saw him on my pop-up toaster and the seat of my car. All my friends think I'm nuts down at the redneck bar. 'Cause I saw Jesus on the stick of Oliver. Oh, Lord, there he is again.
Okay, that's our full question. Would you give a stick of Oliver to a starving homeless person on a street corner? It's 134 at 560 WQAM. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. By the way, anybody know how Ray Perry's doing these days?
No.
Here's Palm Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm wondering about the food allergy test that you're going to be taking.
Yes.
Well, number one, I got a friend who took one for weight loss, and I'm wondering if it's the same one.
Well, what do you mean for weight loss? I mean, a food allergy test is a food allergy test, period.
Well, I don't know, because, I don't know. You know, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. What food allergy test are you doing?
Well, I don't know the name of it. I mean, I don't have the information right in front of me, but it's a clinic here. This is the big thing now, where they come and they take your blood and they test you for allergies to like hundreds of different things. And sometimes it does have to do with weight loss or allergies or a bunch of other different things.
Well, why are you doing it?
What do you mean, why am I doing it? Because
is it for weight loss?
Partly, yeah.
Partly. That's what I'm looking at. There's a few actually, and I've heard different things from each, different source about it. And I've got a friend who did one, lost a bunch of weight from a LEAP, I think it's called LEAP Clinic in Boca. And then I had a friend who did an ALCAT test.
That's this one, ALCAT, right.
You're doing the ALCAT test?
Right.
And he said that he didn't believe it. When he looked, I saw his test results, and it looked like everything that he was eating, he was allergic to.
Uh-huh.
So
that sounds promising. They're coming tomorrow with the results, so I'll let you know if it's a bunch of crap or if it seems reasonable.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't know. The reason I'm doing it, by the way, he asked me. I guess if it'll help with weight loss, fine. Although I doubt it. But John Penis asked me would I do this, and he brought me a bunch of literature and propaganda and a book, and I said okay. I'm not some kind of a pansy like John Penis that gets all panicky and starts to pass out every time I get my blood drawn. What's the big deal with that? But of course, now that I'm seeing the way John Penis is refusing to service any of his accounts, I'm beginning to really seriously doubt whether, even if it is something really good, I'm going to, take it on as a sponsor and put it on the air, even if I think it's fantastic, because, John Penis is just slacking off is what he's doing, okay? I mean, we got one guy in sales back there. I don't want to mention one name.
Roy!
He's grabbing our big instrument. He seems to be whacking off. And we got one guy who's slacking off. And, Ray Perry, who every time I see him, he's backing off. Okay? So what the kind of a joint is this anyway? 5670560, pound 560 on the 18. Don't take any crap from Boca Brian, by the way, because the first bit on the new satellite comedy disc, I just want you to know. Yeah. Right out of the box. So don't listen to all his, I'm starving, I don't know what I'm going to do, I can't make my house payment. I've been keeping this bastard alive for the last year and a half. We're doing, he's triple dipping and quadruple dipping. Even at Howard Johnson's, they never saw so much goddamn dipping. Even at the skinny dipping pools, they never saw so much double and triple and quadruple dipping as this guy's doing. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? He ought to be Sonny Corleone Jr., okay? Bring back Marlon Brando to slap him on the side of the face one time, okay? Give him one good whack. There you go. Be a man and quit with the bull crap, okay, Brian? You wimpy, you're bad. You really are. A genius, but a real piece of crap. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil, I'm going to Orlando. Any good places?
Yeah, there's a wonderful place where they got this funny-looking clown with ears on.
I mean, what's with these stupid... How do these people get through the day?
How do you think I feel when somebody calls up, an adult, not some kind of an infant, but an adult calls, I'm going like, where should I go on vacation in December?
I mean, you know...
How about the North Pole sounds good?
Really, I mean, you know... I can't... You ought to hang up on... Don't take any more of those calls, please.
Okay, thanks. He said, didn't he say I ought to hang up? I think that's what he said, and I just did. Thank you. You let me worry about when to hang up, and, don't start orchestrating the show. You let me handle the orchestration, okay? Like Mitch Miller. 567-0560. I'm going to start bringing back those great guests. So I'm going to put dog crap on the microphone on the guest mic. That'll be good. Yeah, we're going to get Tom Green on the show. We'll get Tom to sit over there, and we'll put 20 pounds of cow crap on top of the mic and see how he likes it this time. Although actually he was holding in these people's puss, so I guess he don't mind it. I guess if he's going to eat all that hair and Vaseline like he was doing on that second show yesterday, he don't mind anything, does he, huh?
No.
Tom Green show on MTV, baby. Oh! Tom Green for Emperor. That's what I say. Finally discovered a guy that's funny.
Place of my devotion and my eyes so big and brown. They're falling at my feet now. We have to pose them down. I love the sweet sensation of strange hands on my thigh. It's like a new addiction. I feed on stage at night. Sometimes they take their clothes off and start dancing in the aisle. Well, I know that I should make them stop, but it always makes me smile in my Puerto Rican style. Every day and night, I'm driving the women loca. I twist my hips and sway, driving the women loca. They scream, they cry, they swoon, and it's sweeter than on roca. It's making me so rich, driving the women loca. Let's be my stars on Mocha. I'm buying a house in Boca. I'm queer, that's my admission. I'm a fag who likes gin balls. I'm here to confirm this mission. It's fact, but that's not all. Are you ready to get through as long as it's alive? It don't matter to me if it's girl or if it's guy, but I prefer a thick brown eye. In that brown eye, I slide into the beat of a lover. I like guys, that's why I love the beat of a lover. Love the beat of a lover. Love the beat of a lover. Hey, this is Simon. I got one addition to what I confess. I found a new addiction. I like to wear a dress. I hope that you're satisfied. The fast car drive is fun. I come from one side of yes, I want to tell you more. Like a bullet through the fire. Inside your eye, I like the beat of the lover. I like that's why I love the beat of the lover. Love the beat of the lover. Love the beat of the lover.
Okay, Boca Brian wins.
Oh!
Hands down. Okay, 5, 6, 7. Now, what is this? I'm sitting here watching these things pop off. Even Jeff Popowich at U of M is embarrassed by your behavior, okay? Of course, they're real busy. It's Monday in the middle of the summertime here in South Florida. They're busy, right?
No.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
I'm a first-time caller from Coral Springs.
All right.
My name's Chuck. My son Dan turned me on to you.
Well, great. Nice going, Dan.
Yeah, he's only 13. He's been listening for I don't know how long, but a couple of weeks ago I started listening. I never listened to AM. Got to be honest with you.
I don't blame you, Dan.
Hey, all I got to say is You kick ass on Howard Stern.
All right.
You do.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And have a great life.
You too.
Okay, nice going there, Dan. Dan's 13 years old. Had to turn Dad onto the show because Dad's no dummy. He don't listen to AM. What person with a brain would listen to AM? Anybody we know?
No.
No, unless they turn on this show. Unless they had to go out of their way to turn on this show. So what chance does that give to a WAF in 1700? They got any chance?
No.
No, none. You know what I'm saying? It must be by, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Oh, by the way, Ricky Martin is in the building. He's next door at Power 96. If any girls out there want to come get his autograph, he'll be out there in the parking lot right after the show. Here's Davey. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I think your listeners will find this pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure all mankind will agree that Thomas Edison is the most important inventor of this in any century.
No.
No, okay. But in a book called What Great Men Think of Religion...
I say Ron Popeil, probably.
In a book called What Great Men Think of Religion,
yeah,
he gave his answer to what he thought of religion
in
one word.
Yeah.
Bunk.
Right.
And anyone who doubts
they asked him, what kind of bed you like to sleep in, Tom? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Oh, come on already, will you? Jesus Christ. See, you thought the corn grew tall in Iowa. Today CNN reports the weed grows tall in Iowa and Nebraska. It grows naturally. You don't have to plant it. It just grows. I mean, it's just a crop. It just grows like wildfire, like a weed, if you pardon that expression.
Someone called earlier. I'm supposed to tell you that that's ditch weed and it doesn't really work. It doesn't get you off.
Listen, I'm not going to start getting into a whole big, it is? Like I said, forget about going to Iowa, Nebraska. It sucks there, okay? Just stay right here in little Jamaica, man.
Yeah, man.
Get the good crap. And, of course, if it were legalized or decriminalized, then you wouldn't have to worry about what kind of crap is in the stuff that you're buying out on the street, like you do here all over the U.S., and worrying about looking over your shoulder because you're committing a criminal act, a crime against nature, no doubt. Boy, look at the mail come pouring in here today, the junk mail, just pouring in. Must be because George was off last week. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Desperate Monday, boy. See, you spoil me. 2 great weeks in a row. Even the last 2 Mondays have been barn burners. Oh! They actually pretended they had some material. Made up for it today, though. Here's Jupiter. Hello.
Neil.
Jupiter. Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
I don't even know if you watched the Today Show.
I hate the Today Show.
This morning was hilarious, though.
Yeah.
You know how they have outside the people hold.
Yeah, we already had a report on this. 2 guys want to get married.
It was hilarious. Al Roker looked like he was going to die. But I
somebody told me his face turned red, but it was hard to tell.
Edison does it in the bunk.
Okay. Yeah, they had 2 guys on there. They were asking, would anybody else like to propose? And one guy proposed to another one. And, of course, maybe they just finished at the Gay Pride. See, they picked a bad day because they're all hanging around from Pride weekend, where they had 1 million people in Toronto, by the way, for the biggest celebration of the in North America. And Ricky Martin just happened to be up there at the same time. Just a coincidence, of course. 400 open lines, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. It's 11 before 2. Hank will be here at 2, or like I said, if he wants a few extra minutes today, we're more than pleased to turn it over to him right now, right after the break.